Well, guys, thanks for coming back. It's All Roads Lead to Rome. We are on episode 35, getting ready to start the mission to Locri or Locri. The As you recall from last game at the end, there was a prophecy that a diplomatic mission would have to be sent there, and as I posted on the group chat, such an invitation was indeed sent, and you guys all had a chance to read it, I assume. A What I did not post and what it came with was a date. Hey, we're going to start on this date. You are expected to meet a certain person there that will be waiting for you, and so they should, when you show up, somebody should be there to greet you. So, is everybody ready?
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
And oh yes, it is our pretty much our 1 year anniversary of gaming. So I know not everybody's been here for a year, but uh, in celebration, everybody is getting 3 experience points that you can add to your character sheet right now.
Okay.
A-
What?
yep. And if you would like to spend that, you may go ahead and do so right now.
Ooh. Interesting. I will spare it.
Need 3 more to save up, so keep it for now.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold on.
Raising my manipulation to 4 and taking special. Ooh.
Taking a specialty, huh? We will discuss that offline, but I don't see any reason why you couldn't do that.
Social monster. Albina. She's fearsome. She's beautiful. She's wicked. She will crawl to your bed at night and sleep with your wife because she can.
Okay.
Whatever it is, stop drinking.
Oh, I probably have should probably have clarified this earlier because this is low cry with no S, so this is Italian low cry.
Correct.
Gotcha.
The one at the southern edge of the peninsula, right?
Correct. I'm getting ready to post that on Discord here. Just had to do a little cut paste thing.
Okay. You know, my geography sucks, so when people say southern Rome or something, I'm just like, so what?
Well, I always Google Maps, man. I love it. So you should see the red dot.
Yeah. Ooh. Oh, it's short.
It's down there by Sicily.
I'm saying
Yep,
down
yep,
in
yep.
Sicily.
Yep.
I mean, isn't Sicily like against Rome at this stage of the war?
Sicily is an independent kingdom, and it is a protectorate of Rome.
Okay.
And it's complicated
Yeah, I
because at this
remember
point it's actually declared for Carthage, and Rome is besieging it.
Yeah, because I remember the king's son changed the sides, something like that.
The city of Syracuse is actually like its own little city state on the island, and it has also declared for Carthage, and it is the home of Archimedes. So, and he is right now the only reason Rome has not overrun the city.
Really?
Yes, really.
One person, wow.
Yeah.
That.
He is a crazy mad scientist inventor.
Oh, I remember that. The Rome used them to create some sort of siege weapons or something, if I remember correct. I don't know.
Yeah,
I remember.
he's the one who came up with the idea of using mirrors as a way to set things on fire, and he's invented like cranes and claws and catapults that are keeping Roman ships from getting next to the city walls. Yeah.
Mm.
So, but we will get there.
Genius. Nicodemus would love that person, I presume.
All right. So, uh, we have enough time to basically run one scene for everybody, as I assume most of you guys, when you get there, are basically going to reconnect with your ghouls and make sure everybody's okay, refeed them, and kind of take care of some personal stuff before you have to take off again. Is that about accurate for everybody?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
So I'm going to start from left to right on my screen here. So, Nicodemus, would you like to do anything that requires some personal attention over the next couple of nights? You know what? Before I get to that, let me back up a little bit. Icarus, where are you staying tonight?
I was thinking about that. No, I'd probably go to the Nicodemus and ask him. Because wait, do I know Nicodemus is salubre?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, probably I will go to him and ask or I will probably ask others too, but he will be my first location, first person to contact with. I will ask him, if he has some sort of help for me to sleep somewhere. So it totally depends on him. It depends on what he does. If he does not help me in any way, then I will go to the next coterie member. Ask them. It's one stage.
Sorry, I need 5 minutes. Okay?
Yeah, okay. I understand. Okay, let's see. Let's say this then. I will go to the Albina.
Yes.
Because, I have nowhere to sleep in Rome. I have no place, no contact or anything of some sort. I was thinking that maybe you could have some spare room for me to stay for, I don't know, for a short time.
Damn, you're impatient. Nicodemus would totally offer the
Well,
hospitality of his fellow salubri clansmen, even before Icarus asked, in fact.
oh, well, you know what, Albina? I remembered something. Wait. Kodoyme said something to me. I forgot that now. Sorry for taking your time. Have a good night. And then I will go to the Nicodemus.
Nicodemus probably goes ahead of himself, but he actually asks Abinada Abenusial about this. That he has a stray salubri warrior that that requires shelter during
Stray.
those turbulent times. What is their take on this?
Well, they will gladly offer the shelter for a salubri warrior, with the understanding that he is subject to the rules of the house, the same as everyone else.
Nicodemus makes sure that Icarus knows those rules of the house, but he expects no turbulence. What do you say, Icarus? Will you abide by the code of conduct as expected by this house?
Can you elaborate?
In short, don't be a dick and don't involve yourself too much in physical exchanges by these two. Nicodemus explains when the aforementioned two are out of earshot.
I mean, to be honest, being Dick varies from person to another person, so I am not sure where would be that line staying on.
Nicodemus laughs in response. I believe you'll find Uziel to be a very good person to be about. He has many qualities that you'd find that you'd share with him. But Abinadab is more of a philosopher, and he's predominantly a healer. He has great understanding of the ways of the warrior, but this understanding is not ultimate, as I
Oh, I
usually.
understand.
So,
I'm
I, in fact, there is something I would recommend to you as night one. Just take a stroll across the household, and without uttering a word, just see how things are working out. And you'll understand the little differences, the little alterations, and the the subtle the subtle differences that seem to divide this house of peace into two distinct portions. If you can find a balance in which you traverse these hallowed halls, then you will not violate any rules.
sure. Well, lead the way. It sounds fascinating. Let's see how it will be. I like fellow warriors. They are strong.
Uziel is known for organizing thorough training for his fellow, for a group of mortal warriors he's been tutoring. Mm, I would expect you to, out of at least professional courtesy, to become involved in a way.
I don't understand courtesy, but we can see what happens at future.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing there. Um,
So
yeah,
Nicodemus, at
it's
this,
pretty late by the time you guys get there. It
Really?
took it took a while to make it to the Elysium, and then you had to talk to the prince and do the vision
Oh, it's not.
and go through all of that.
Oh, of
So
course.
basically, you get to the house, and it's it's getting pretty late. So they show you to a room. You rest. All right. So everybody, when you wake up the next day or the next night, everyone is down a blood point. If you should not be down any willpower points, you had a nice long journey to recover all of them. So, uh, there is a uh, note at everybody's havens that the prince needs to see all of you back at Elysium.
Me too?
so this is before our given scene time, right?
Correct.
Is this related to the letter? Have we seen the letter already?
You have
Or
not. This is actually going to be, he's going to give it to you guys.
very well.
So,
Well,
am I?
no,
Am I?
no point wasting time.
Am I still like spared from information of weapons cannot be carried in Rome, or did somebody actually told me that? This is depending on that.
They
I'm
told
going.
you that in the meeting with the prince. You know, hey,
Okay.
if you don't want to cause trouble, which you don't, you know, wrap them up in a piece of cloth, leather, and then leave them in storage, basically.
Remember, always wrap it up.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Then I go kind of like naked, quote naked.
Yeah, you probably do feel naked without your weapons. So,
Well, knife is not a weapon.
correct. A belt knife is not a weapon. It is a tool.
Oh yeah. Well, a knife is not a weapon for Icarus too. And he doesn't need Romans to say it.
It is considered to be a tool of everyday use and therefore is fine to carry.
Yep. Yep.
All right. You guys all get back. You know exactly where it's at. No problems. And you make your way through the hidden passages to get to where you need to go.
Yep. Yep.
And
It's
you
good
reach
to
to the
see
area
you.
with the prince, and he is standing there, and he has. There are two. There's a letter, a piece of paper, I should say, which you don't necessarily recognize as a letter, and a box in front of him, a small wooden box.
Yep.
And inside the room with him, as you guys are all here, basically, is a man of average stature, very small build. He has the nice honey blonde hair, green eyes. You guys, everybody except Icarus recognizes him as Artemis's major domo or seneschal, whatever you want, the term you want to use. You all recognize him, except for Icarus, of course, who's never met him. So you are shown into the room, and the prince waves you all forward. Come here.
Abner steps forward to the prince.
Likewise, perhaps.
How is Prince looking like? Oh, sorry.
He looks unchanged as always. He appears basically to be the same as he did last night.
Interesting.
It should be noted that so far as you know, you are the only kindred in the room, in this space.
Me.
You as a group plus those two.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
So they wave you forward. You know, hey, come here.
Steps forward, gives any of the necessary, formal bows and so forth.
I'll be
Hey.
just the same.
I just say hey.
Is there any change in Camilla since last we saw him?
No, not since last night. He does not appear to have changed at all, in either for better or worse.
Has he changed in any way since we saw him before departing for Apollonia?
When you saw him before departing for Apollonia, he appeared extremely tired, which is, as we've noted before, very odd for a Cainite. But he no longer has that appearance of being very haggard or tired. He appears to be back to normal.
It's a good sign.
So he waves you forward and he says, so these two packages arrived. This letter before you should explain what I need you to do much more clearly. And he hands it, he indicates for one of you guys to come pick it up. And that's the letter that I posted on the group chat.
Yep.
Nicodemus
But I don't understand it.
Nicodemus reads it. For anyone else that is around, and he actually allows himself a slight smile, and he asks in a bit of incourteous way towards the prince, Philistine of Locri, really? I had no idea he was unless I'm mistaking the names, is he the Philistine of Locri?
Yes, he is.
How interesting. I had no idea he was one of our kind. I would very much like a description from your perspective, my prince, about him, about his person, if we were to deal with him on a personal level.
Of course, and I will do that for you as soon as I explain this other package sitting on my table.
Of course, I request your apology.
This arrived at some point today and was delivered to the House of Artemis. Even I'm not sure what's in it. So, if one of you would like to open it, it is addressed to you but was delivered to that house.
I would like to open.
I was going to say Hatshep step forward as to open it.
Okay. You guys, Hatchet steps up and you pry the wooden pegs open. And I am getting ready to show you guys all exactly what you see. And then I'm going to read it.
Head. We see a head.
Can you guys see that?
Yeah.
Pop up
Yep.
here. And it says,
Yep.
so you open the crate, and there inside the crate, the first thing you see is a folded up sheet of scroll. And underneath it is a jerkin of some kind that looks rather vaguely like what you last saw Ilemus wearing. And if one of you picks it up and you kind of shake it out, it's dirty, it's got blood stains, it's got ashes on it, looks like it's got some fire damage, and there are some very large, ragged, claw-like cuts in it. And the letter says, Dear Nicodemus, Lucius Valerius, Icarus, Albina Pallas, Hatshepsut, and Labienus Silius. It is unfortunate that I feel my hand has been forced into sending you this. I hope you recognize by the enclosed garment that I am quite serious. Breathe it in, inhale deeply, and taste the ash in your throat. This is the last breath of your friend who went after my caravan. I would have let him go, but I grow tired of your constant interference. Democritus tells me that I should let this go. We have all eternity, he says. They are worth more on our side than they are dead. Well, he can go get fucked. I'm tired of you. 3 times now you have interfered in my plans. So let this be a warning. Show your face on my territory again, and it will be the last thing you do. Stay in Latin lands, stay in Rome, live your life, and be safe. And it is signed with the letter K.
Who's K?
Do we know anyone?
Stina
with
of Arcadia, probably.
the same team?
Yeah.
Democritus' companion.
Woohoo! Chaotic. Everyone is speaking.
So she has a short fuse. That's good news, if anything.
Would this be a frenzy roll? The loss of a close one?
If you feel it should be a frenzy roll, then you may go ahead and make that, and it will be, I'm going to say at difficulty 4.
Would Labiena actually know who this is?
Actually, this speaks of Ilemus, not. This speaks of Ilemus, but we pretty much were all prepared for Ilemus being dead already.
That's why I made it difficulty 4.
And then there's this thing like we don't know I almost that much actually. I don't know.
So you guys, somebody picks the garment up and somebody reads the letter out loud. And you hear Albina like utter this growl and like grind her teeth. But she controls herself. It's like, yeah, everyone kind of realizes she's already fantasizing about choking the life out of Christina.
Who's Christina?
The
Who's
super
K?
beautiful woman you met last game.
Oh, I'm asking this in-game, so you know.
Yeah.
Is that her?
Has
one
to
who's in
be.
the ship.
Not many.
Interesting.
Well, I don't get much threats normally, but well, that woman was too much fragile to actually scare me at this moment. I could break his neck like in my sleep.
If you judge her by her appearance, then you are foolish. Nevertheless, that bitch,
It depends. It depends.
nevertheless, that bitch is going to find her soul devoured.
Nah, I as long as she does not cross my pit, I don't have to fight with her. So she can live on with his own life. I shed blood, but not unnecessarily.
So, as the prince speaks up, so I see you have understood the meaning of this package, and it is personal. So let me endeavor to explain Philistine to you from my recollections. He is very vain. He is a poet, as you know. He lives in Locri, which is famous for its flowers. If you were to perhaps attempt to obtain some of his poetry and read up on it, it would be an easy way to gain his favor if you could recite some of it back to him.
Do you have
He
any?
also
Sorry, go ahead.
he also has seemingly written some considerate medical treatises. Some of them I don't really agree with, but I will have to play a good face for him.
His poetry of his. Do you have any that you could read up, and that you perhaps you could bring to him?
Uh, he's got his hand on his face and he's thinking, like he's trying to remember what he did with it.
That bad, huh?
Well,
I'm
I
certain
suppose
some
the
of our
Toreador think it's good, but let's see.
Would
I don't
Basher
think I have any
any?
in easy reach. There might be some in. No, I did not leave it in the library. I left it in a personal possession. Unfortunately, I have none in easy reach.
Would Nicodemus recall if he has ever stumbled upon this? I mean, this guy also read some medical stuff, so maybe he has
Sure.
run into it.
Nicodemus only can roll uh, wits plus academics. And then wits plus medicine to try to see if you can recall different texts.
Wits plus academics.
Right. See if you can remember his poetry.
Yep.
You do remember some of his more famous verses.
Splendid. Do I remember where I've read it?
With 3 successes, no, but you do remember the verses themselves.
Okay, very well.
And then wits plus medicine. What you're trying to do is recall any of the drawings and discourses that he wrote about.
Okay. One of the rare medicine rolls for me.
Yes, you recall vividly with 4 successes that the name of the tome that he wrote, and you recall it's not word for word perfect, but you recall many of the more memorable passages. Either because you really strongly agreed, or really strongly disagreed, one of the two. But you do recall many of them.
Oh yeah, he was a staunch defender of claiming everything you drink goes to the lungs directly, which we can contest on many levels. And I won't get into that. This is beyond point at this stage.
So, I will be seeing to a small guard force of approximately 8 men It is up to you guys to arrange transport, and there will be an actor going with you who can perform the daytime duties if should you be stopped along the road.
You said actor?
Yes.
I'm seeing it in game. I'm seeing it in game. This
Yes,
stuff
that is
right now.
correct.
Okay. Did you say
What
it
of mortal
actor?
diplomats?
Oh, okay. But isn't actors like the players and they play with fire and all that stuff? Aren't they actor?
No, this is a person who stands in front of the stage and recites prepared lines.
That's strange. Okay, I never saw one. Awkward silence.
The prince is like, he's swallowing an insult because he doesn't want to provoke anybody right now. He says, well, on that note, you are all dismissed to attend to your own duties. I should have these men ready for you, not by tomorrow night, but if you are ready to travel at daybreak, not at daybreak in this morning, but daybreak the next morning.
Daybreak next morning. Very well. What will our entourage consist of? The 4 guards, the actor, and that's all. We're not meeting entourage of mortal diplomats because they are going to have mortal diplomats. The Carthage side, I mean.
I
Or the
expect
actors
that
cutting.
there is no Roman diplomat in Locri courting the mortal government. You are all going to court Philiston, not the mortals.
So, and that's going to be enough. I have to ask because this is really going to be a topic, my prince. As the letter mentions, the Carthage, from a strictly mortal point of view, offers a lot to them. Something that would Rome be able to match this offer? Should push come to shove?
I expect that the mortals are strongly resisting Carthage as a nation state. I expect that my expectation and my thoughts are that the Bruja believe it is necessary to court the local kindred to use their influence to bring the mortals around. So therefore, if you can cut that off, the mortals by themselves will refrain from going to Carthage's side. Unfortunately, right now, Rome does not have the forces between the siege of Syracuse, the efforts in Greece, the north of Italy, the many areas in the south of Italy, the fighting near Capua, and of course on the Hispania plain. Rome is stretched thin, very, very thin. The mortals must pick their deployment quite carefully.
Yeah. So, you have more questions, Nicodemus?
More than you can fathom, but your will shall be done, my prince.
Thank you. You are all dismissed.
Albina curtsies. Thank you for having us, my friends. And then she steps back and leaves, waiting outside for.
Well, now that we are here.
At the mention of a roaming stretched fin, Hatshepsut pauses for a moment, mutters something about the stars under her breath, and politely excuses herself.
I want to ask Camilla if I can use the bathroom. Use the jacuzzi or something, whatever it's called.
Use the what?
No. Wait, it's called something. It's special type of water that you wash yourself in, but it's not like Roman something. Wait.
You wish to use the
Basically-
baths. Yes, go and use the
Yeah.
baths.
Yeah, but it's Roman special, unique Roman bath or something. It has a name that I
So
do
the
not
Roman
remember.
bath, you start in the atrium, then you go to the frigidarium, which is cold, chilled water and chilled stone. At least as cold as you can get.
Okay.
And then from there, you go to either a wet sauna or a dry sauna.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, you would wash your body off with water. And then you would go into a heated pool area. And then you would go into a dry sauna. And from that dry sauna, you would then move to an area where you would oil yourself up and use a scraper and scrape yourself clean.
Whew, I feel like a newborn person.
Actually, usually they had their slaves do it for them, so they could get every inch of skin.
But what?
But
They don't give
as
us
you don't have a
slaves?
slave, no, they will not give you a slave.
Well, I can do it myself.
I mean, it's a shared bath. We can always do for each other.
Oh, I can do it for others too. I'm Spartan.
Well, the women aren't supposed to be in the men's side, so
But I can do it with man to man too. I mean,
Yes,
intimacy is
correct.
easy. But I mean, in the army, we always sleep with each other, so.
I have business that I must attend to. I will meet. Shall we meet? Perhaps we shall all meet outside the Temple of Juno.
No, you guys stick. I will find you.
Very well then. Hatshepsut will take her leave, heading back to her ghoul.
Is the prince still there?
yes.
Mm. Forgive me, my prince. One more question. I have very little experience in dealing with Carthaginians themselves. Would you know if there's anyone, mortal or Cainite, who had any experience when dealing with them? Someone I could reach out for much needed wisdom in this short time that we are afforded before departing. Anyone would do that could illuminate me just a little.
The only one I know of is Lysander, and he is out with his sire. Lysander spent several years in Carthage.
I understand. Well then, I bid you a good evening then, my prince.
Good evening.
Hey, Nicodemus, will you join me? Come. You feel
Nicodemus
relieved.
cares for a moment. My apologies, friend, but I have cleansing of different sort in my agenda.
Can I splash water?
You're not really in a wet area right this second.
Okay. Next time.
As soon as Nicodemus vacates the room, he considers his options. How much time we have before departure in hours?
Let's see. You got tonight and then tomorrow night, so 10, about 22 hours.
22 hours. His first order of business would be to see if he can. He has one final business to cleanse himself of the trip to Apollonia. He wants to cast the experiences away, or rather, not away, but make peace with them by honoring somehow the family he has slaughtered, and he has taken a keepsake that belonged to them. He intends to pay his respects for the dead in some manner. Does the um, how is it handled religiously by religious protocol? What would be the best way of going about it? As some offering or something?
Yeah, there's no real temple of Pluto, but there is a
Maybe.
there are shrines and stuff to like Persephone, his wife. There's no real, as far as I remember, there's no real temple to Persephone yet. But if you were to go to a shrine and leave an offering, that would spiritually cleanse you.
Whilst making some sort of funeral rites for the departed family, that's now probably because they departed this world without any sort of honors.
You're a Greek, right?
Yeah.
So, what you want to do is you want to take a bronze coin or 2 bronze coins for each member of the family, and some bread and wine, and a couple more bronze coins just for the upkeep and maintenance of the shrine, and go to a shrine of Persephone would be perfect, but even a like Juno or Minerva or somebody like that, and you could offer up to the temple. Now, it's a coin for each eye, right, to pay Charon the ferryman.
Mm-hmm. Obols.
Right.
Right?
And then
That's the name.
the bread and wine is an offering for the souls, and a little bit to the temple for their trouble. And they would say a brief prayer, perhaps, and that should be enough to fulfill your spiritual debt, basically. Unless you feel
That's
you need to do a physical act of contrition, in which case nothing except that physical act will actually do it. But spiritually, this should easily be enough.
Nothing physically comes to mind. So yeah, Nicodemus is going to do what was suggested. So go to the temple, offer the obols. If that's a fact, he's going to spare a few words over the shrines, trying to seek some form of understanding towards the deed he has done and the lives he had taken unjustly. And you can go over to the next person while I think about what he's going to do for the rest of the night.
Okay. Albina, what would you like to do? Anything in particular?
Well, she's going to be taking care of her goals, of course. She's also going to try to approach, like for her to try to approach, fuck, um, Labiana, but that's not able right now. So she's just going to try to instead.
Okay, I'll come back to you then.
Rhonda.
All right, Hatshepsut.
Checking in on first order of business, taking Heraclius and checking in on ghouls and cult.
Okay, understood. What else?
Probably take. I, wa- I want to send a letter um, to basically offering when this whole mess is over to trade knowledge of Serpentis for some knowledge of Aku.
Okay.
An exchange of talents among Set's faithful.
Ihamus sends a verbal reply back to you immediately that he would welcome the chance. Uh, he would welcome the chance to learn with you and to spread the knowledge of Set.
Excellent.
All right. Is there anything else that needs done?
Staff probably won't have anything to say right now. I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna see if I try and use what little time I have to listen around. Try and determine if there's been any changes in the religious atmosphere, so to speak. You know, if there's been any shifts in attitudes while I've been away.
Okay, that's a huge request, and you're not going to have time to do it.
Uh,
But if you were to, say, pick one temple or something you wanted to go look and see the status of, that would be doable.
okay. And out of character, I have something I know I want to look for, but you know that's metagaming, so I'll just roll a dice. Mars.
Okay? The Temple of Mars appears to be doing quite well for itself. You wander to the temple. Temple of Mars, ancient Rome. The Temple of Mars, Ultor. And the Forum, well, what will be the Forum of Augustus. It is actually on the Palatine Hill.
Maybe you should change the server.
I did. I have changed server a couple of times. Alright, so Discord is messing up. Alright.
It's good right now, at the moment.
So, the Temple of Mars Ultor. It is on the Palatine Hill. It is on the forum itself. About 100 or 150 meters downhill of the Temple of Juno, the main temple area. The believe it or not, if we go back to the main screen here, I'm pretty sure that's the temple. I'm pretty sure the one right here I'm clicking on, either this one or this one, is the main temple.
I'm just asking around any passers-by if necessary. Has there been a lot of devotions lately? A lot of sacrifices.
Well, so as you walk up, first, are you trying to stand out or just be a normal person?
Not particularly standing out right now.
All right. This is gonna be a weird one. Roll manipulation plus stealth. You're literally just attempting to blend in.
Base difficulty of 6.
Yes.
7.
All right. People are giving you the side eye, but nobody's raising a fuss or anything like that. So there is actually a number of offerings at the temple itself. Food, mostly food, olive oil, a little bit of wine. Not much money because there's not a lot of money to be had right now. It's all going to taxes.
Mm.
But there's a considerable amount of charity being given to the temple in the form of whatever offerings people can offer. As you would expect given a time of war.
Mm. Okay, gotcha. Probably all I have time for then.
Yeah, you would spend a couple of, tonight, a couple hours the next night, going back, talking with people. People are praying for the safe return of their son, and they wailing mothers who wish to have the temple of Mars and his avenging guys guide Rome to a successful victory. Nobody is praying to give up. Everybody's praying for vengeance and victory.
Now that provides something that's if not useful, at least interesting.
There is so far you did not meet a single person who says we should give up.
Mm. So clearly in Rome itself, at least, the fighting spirit is still going.
Yes.
There we go then.
Okay. So, Albina, you wanted to get with Labiena. Or was
Yeah.
that Nicodemus who wanted Labiena?
And I wanted to try to speak to her.
Okay. So let's do that, and then if Labiena is ready, we'll do the funeral for Lucius Valerius, and then I'll get to Icarus.
Is Labiana able to talk? Is she like everything better? The issue is fixed.
This woman. Money.
You ready, Labiena? She's on mute.
God damn it. I'm back. Okay.
Awesome.
Let's do
Welcome
this.
So yeah, Albina is going to try to approach her.
Okay.
It's Albiena and Labiena, two of you talking.
So it's Albina. Okay.
Yep.
I was trying to remember which one was approaching Labiena. Alright, so I guess I'm also just trying to, catch up with the context in which this is happening, considering what I just missed out on.
Alright, so basically the prince said, go forth and get your stuff ready to go to Locri. He's getting guards. You guys need to provide your transportation. You've got tonight and tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Okay.
Labiana.
So,
Sorry, go ahead.
Hmm?
You wanted to say? Did you say something?
Well, I wondered if you would all join me in participating in a funeral rite for our long-lost brother, Lucius Valerius.
Of course. That is one of the things that I used to speak to you about. Is it possible for that right to be extended to Irenaeus and Alexius?
Of course, any of our fallen brethren will be included in this funeral rite.
Thank you. I will do the utmost to assist in preparing it. That is what I do the utmost to assist you in preparing this.
Thank you, that would be very much appreciated.
There's also, there's also something else that I used to ask you about. You and your clan are proficient in the arts of necromancy. Is that correct?
Say again?
You and your clan are proficient in the arts of necromancy. Is that correct?
Indeed, we are.
Or one of its members taking an apprentice among others?
Um, well, I think for the most part, I'd be more than willing to adhere to the traditional Roman thankfully, in the case of Lucius Valerius, I happened to collect up some of his ashes for such an occasion. The other two, unfortunately, by name and by words, personal item belonging to either of them.
I know where Alexis made his haven, and we do have the cloths from Arhamus.
I guess something like that would suffice. One item from each of Elamus and Alexio.
I shall
I
gather them.
certainly do.
I will gather them and bring to you.
Thank you.
So Abner goes off to assist in gathering the one item from the blood cloth from Iremus and some personal items in.
Okay. Meanwhile, Labiena makes all the other preparations for a funeral procession, musicians, any of the usual things involved in a Roman funeral rite. And then turns to the others and asks if any of them would like to, say a few words in the form of a eulogy for the occasion.
Oh god, I'm tempted to suggest something that sounds like a compliment, but in context is a major insult.
Just do it. Do it. Do it.
Truly, truly lineage is one of Ra's own.
Alexis say and Alexis uh, skills are always to be commended, and Ihamu's faith is always a source of inspiration.
Very good. The only thing I didn't really get to check out before my um, technical difficulties was pretty much the tail end of the funeral, right? Like, essentially what was going to happen to the, well, the urn with Valerius's ashes and the items belonging to
Oh,
both.
since it's all cremated
Yes.
already, um, basically it gets scattered into the Tiber.
Sounds good.
So the funeral rites, at his estate, there's enough money left over to pay for everybody. There's dancing, there's singing through the streets, there's jugglers. There's an insult comic, which was an actual thing. Um, Professional mourners. Uh, and of course, the more money you spend, the more the funeral is successful. So, as basically his servants raided most of his possessions, it's enough to send him into the afterlife. Not really enough to send him off with a lot of spiritual wealth. I realize Valerius was an atheist, but that doesn't matter because the Roman gods believed in him.
Yeah. I was going to say, in
Such
amongst all
achievement.
that, Laviena
The
was also
press
going to
gang.
pray to Dispater as well, to sort of carry his soul
Yep.
into the afterlife.
Okay.
Interesting piece of information. Sorry, go on.
I have a very important question for you, Laviena. Do you keep any personal possession of Lucius Valerius?
Um, you mean the ashes?
Now, you already said you scattered the ashes, but do you keep any of his stuff?
Me?
Yes.
I suppose if there was anything to keep, possibly.
Okay. Describe something you would be looking for to keep. Remember, in the context of a Cappadocian who likes necromancy and dead bodies, and has an idea of what that
Oh,
entails, what would you be looking for?
I honestly don't know. I mean, there wouldn't have been anything left of him, so to speak. So, I suppose anything ritualist that could be used in rituals. I don't know.
Well, that's a lot of stuff, so I'm looking for something a little more specific.
I don't know, candles. I can't really think of anything, to be honest.
Oh god, I have to resist the urge to say.
Okay.
What?
So the chance is gone. You did not grab anything. What were you going to say? Hatshepsut.
I was going to suggest if he had any of his old armor from his time in the legions, that is something he could have bonded to.
Yes. Anything that would have been kind of heirloom worthy or of super personal importance. So,
A reliquary.
Well, there's still his villa someplace out there.
well, there are already squatters living in it. The day after the funeral, there are squatters.
Well, but just before, anyway.
Yeah. I gave her the chance. So
Yeah, mind blank.
That's all right.
Perfect.
More just because I did a DM roll that you guys didn't see, and it came up as yes, he survived as a ghost, and I was going to give her the chance to summon him
Really?
with an appropriate anchor, and she did not pick the
Nice.
appropriate anchor. So the
I couldn't
chance
think
has
of one,
passed.
sadly.
That's okay. I decided to be fun at some point in the future.
None of our characters, none of our other characters know what she can do with her necromancy,
Right.
right? We
Right.
have
Well,
no
not
idea
even she knows what she can do with her necromancy yet.
Mm.
But
Nope.
uh,
Uh,
I just figured I'd
if I-
offer the
God damn it.
chance, and
Mhm.
that's okay. So, moving on. I think the only one that's left is Icarus.
Yeah, I am going to make a hunt roll first.
Okay. Now your difficulty is 5 because of your clan weakness instead of 4, because you must
Okay.
defeat anyone you feed on must be defeated in battle, some sort of battle.
Again, are we in like +1? As
So, yep, it says +1, but it's difficulty 5 in Rome
okay.
for you.
Can,
Well, it's
do
4 for
I?
everybody, but +1 to 5.
Okay.
So
Oh,
Can I make my hunting roll with strength and not dexterity?
you want strength plus what, melee or something? Strength plus brawl?
Yeah. Yeah, strength plus melee.
Um, yeah, sure. Well, yeah, sure. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
You're literally walking up. You have the knife in your hand,
And
almost
bash
like
the head with
almost like a set of brass knuckles, and you're just like whopping them upside the head or whatever. Okay, you successfully hunt.
I take I think I will I need 5 blood, so it's
You have enough
yeah.
successes there.
Yep. I have yeah. So I didn't kill anybody because like 2 of them 2 blood and 1 of them is 1 blood.
Right.
And so yeah, for the roleplay part, I want to go to the Salubri house or something.
Okay. Are you
Salubri
getting help?
mansion.
Are you being guided back?
No, I probably saw the location now, so I presume I can go there
You've been there
myself.
once.
Yeah, I
Rome is
will
a
go
huge,
myself.
large city.
Nah, I'm not going to take help. I trust myself.
All right. Please roll
Survival.
intelligence plus legerdemain.
Really? Not survival to find my location?
I'll let you do survival too. We did it in Apollonia, so I'll let you do it here.
Okay, intelligence plus survival. SSS.
You're trying to
Do I do?
recognize landmarks and remember how you got to each place.
Yep. Yeah. Difficulty?
6.
Oh shit. Okay, wait. No, 6. What did I get?
Oh no.
Nice. Oh my god, nice.
It's a
It's the
botch.
werewolf. Will it be werewolf?
well, yeah.
Okay.
Has to be.
Do you like high or low?
Oh, gee, man.
Wait. If only I had a coin to throw. Let's say high. 50
You like
chance. I
high.
believe 50.
I'm
Yeah, I
gonna do
like
a
high.
3D dice.
3D?
Dice roller.
Please, I don't want to lose my character at like what, session 3 or something.
Oh no.
Did it roll? There it goes.
Oh, unlucky. Oh.
Rolled a 2. Awesome. Fuck.
A dragon comes out.
Yeah. All right.
I mean,
well,
a botch doesn't necessarily has to be physically damaging. It can be something else too.
No.
So
Just
You
get
find
horribly
yourself
lost.
lost. You're near the river.
Your voice cut.
So you
Can
find yourself
repeat?
totally lost. Completely
Okay.
lost. You're near the river.
Okay.
There are people. You're stepping over people here. There's so many
What do you
people.
mean?
People sleeping on the streets next to the
Oh,
water.
okay. Oh, I'm gonna get sickness.
Suddenly, you
Okay.
come on this on a building that's significantly larger than the rest. All the other buildings around you are made of wood. This one, the bottom floor is made of stone. Hatchet, stop me when you recognize this. There is a large sign painted on the second floor, the second story of this building. It looks like an animal you've never seen before. And there are weird symbols all around it. And this animal is chained up. And the doors to this building are open. And there is a torch burning inside. And you can hear voices coming from inside the building. And it is drawing your attention very, very heavily.
What kind of voices?
Fun, happy voices.
Okay. Is this a house I know?
You have never seen this house before.
Okay, I move on then.
As you go to move on, somebody stumbles out the door, and somehow they get in your way,
okay.
and they
I move on
trip,
to
and
my-
it's like just somehow you get shoved into the room. Somehow, never mind exactly how. Somehow you get forced just through a series of, you go to move left, this drunk person moves left. You go to move right, this guy moves right. You go to step past him, and somehow you get drunkenly shoved into the building.
Okay. I will get out from the building then. Move out
Well,
from
as
the
you
building.
get shoved into the building, you see there is a man who looks at you, and he's got his hair is in really tight dreadlock braids. His skin is very black, and he looks right at you, and you look right at him, and your eyes kind of meet for a second, and he like startles for a second, and he goes, "Hey, my friend, never did I expect to see you in here. Please come in. Well, allow me to sit you down. May I get you something? Perhaps directions."
Not a word. You couldn't pick a worse guy.
No. No thanks.
Yeah, they
I
are.
can find it myself.
Yeah, even as you're like, no, I don't need any help. He's already taking your arm and guiding you to a seat.
Okay. So who are you again?
Oh, my name is I am Ihamus. I'm so pleased to make your acquaintance. Please sit. Take a load off your feet. May I have your name, sir?
Icarus.
Well, Icarus, I do hope we can be friends. So please,
Depends.
please. He is speaking Greek. Well, he started out in Latin, but when he saw the look on your face, he switched to Greek, and then realized, okay, he's in the clear. So, please, by all means, sit down. Make yourself comfortable. He gestures. People kind of clear the area a little bit, and he sits down. Can I get you something? Some wine or something of a darker, more red vintage, perhaps?
No. I don't want anything.
No. Well, I suppose I guess that's okay. But would you mind if I indulge while we wait?
Wait, what?
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. And he like snaps his fingers, and they bring something, and they pour it, and he's holding us. They put a mug in his hand, and they pour it, and you can tell this is not blood that they're pouring in it, and he begins to drink from it. Begins to drink it.
Okay. I'm not drinking. If they give me, I'm not drinking.
So what brings you by my humble establishment so late at night?
Nothing. I was
Nothing.
trying to find something else.
Of course
Yeah.
you were trying to find something. You are here, aren't you? I am a man who procures many things.
Okay, sure. Good luck with you, with that guy.
Oh, come now. Surely there is something you need.
No.
You just said you were looking for something. Are you sure there's
Yeah.
nothing I can help with? Nothing at all.
No, you can't help. It's none of your business.
You're here in my establishment. At least allow me the chance to help you.
No, hi. Really, like, I don't want to waste more of my time. Can I go? Like, good luck with you.
Alright, he is using presents.
There's some problem with Rotoy. Like, it's just, what the fuck?
1 second, guys. I need to grab my book. I will be right back. I left it in the living room.
Okay.
I love that I came back at just that moment.
4 acres.
Yeah, poor Icarus.
Nicodemus is to blame. He should have kept.
Okay, he wants to appear so charming that you cannot turn down his company.
Okay, I'm going to spend willpower, by the way. Like, I have that option, right? I'm going to spend willpower to resist it instantly. Or if there's a roll, I will make it first, but I'm going to willpower
You
spend.
must first. He has to succeed on his willpower roll, which is charisma plus performance. Against nothing. It's diff 7. It's just a flat difficulty. Here it is. Ihamus Eushopsis. Charisma
I mean,
plus
it's better than facing with werewolves and dying right away. It's better than that.
Believe me, it's probably better if you are faced off against a werewolf. At least these are the terms Icarus can have. The meaning
It's
of
one success. It's one success.
That's okay. He only needs one. All right. So you may, if you wish to resist the presence,
Yep.
you may spend a willpower point.
Yep.
And then succeed on a roll of your remaining willpower at difficulty 8.
Sorry, what do you mean?
So if you have a willpower of 6 and you spend 1, that leaves you with 5. Then you roll those remaining 5 dice at difficulty 8.
Okay. So can I ask something? I remember that when you use presence power on someone and that person spends willpower to resist it, I presume if the willpower point you spend becomes equal to the success on the roll of the presence user, you like literally shake off it totally. I remember it like that. Yeah, you might have to check that too.
No, I'm
On the
looking
book.
right at it, and I don't see that.
Maybe a normal power explanation. I'm not sure. I just remember something like that, so it might be wrong too. But it might be told in the power description, not the
Here
discipline
it is. As
description,
soon as
not
an
the power.
individual, you got it. As soon as an individual spends a number of willpower points equal to the successes rolls, you shake it off completely and remain unaffected the rest of the night.
Okay, so he got one success, and I'm going to spend one willpower. So
Right.
his presence does not work on me for the rest
Well,
of the
you
night.
still need to go ahead and make the roll because it might come out very badly. But you just
Okay,
don't botch it.
so
Get one success.
okay.
Don't botch it.
Okay, willpower point, right? And then um, I'm rolling 5 dice now. My remaining willpower points
Correct.
because I spent one of them.
At difficulty 8. Don't botch. Get one success and you're good.
Okay. Yep, I got
All right,
two
good. You shake it off
success.
the rest of the night.
Okay, I'm like
I-
I will get up and get out from the place. Like I will. Okay, this is enough. I have no play. I have no interest in this, and I will just leave the room and really leave the place.
Okay.
Go up. Don't look at his face. Just leave.
You get up and leave. They don't stop you.
Yep.
Make another intelligence plus survival roll, this time at difficulty 7. Find your way home.
Yeah, and I'm going to spend 1 willpower point for that too. Difficulty 7. Okay, 4 success. I said I will spend it, so...
This time you got home successfully.
Yep, okay. Oh, fuck you, Hamus. Okay. You can
All he
suck
wanted
me
was to be
first.
your friend. That's all he wanted.
No, man. I mean,
Aw.
I'm a straightforward character. I'm not like Valerius, so I'm just going to cut it really quick, you know. Just no.
No, you did
Just
well. You
till...
did good. I understand.
Yeah. So when I come to the place, I will. My main goal is to get to know those other Celebri. That's generally what I want to do. Talk with them,
Okay,
have some role
do me a
play,
favor
essentially.
and roll a d8.
Okay.
You want a 4 or a 5 on this roll.
D8, 1d8, right?
Correct.
You said 4 and 5. You wish.
Okay, so you go in, and the very quick tour that you were given the first night you got there, Abinadab's little spot is closed off.
Okay.
So the
But
building itself is laid out as a square, and it's got a center courtyard. So it's laid out like a very small training barracks.
Okay. Like this gladiator thing in the Spartacus or something like that?
Yeah, a little smaller than that though. The
Okay.
living quarters are actually they're not set up like a typical Roman villa. It's much
No.
more like a barracks with a living area tacked onto it.
I'm okay. So I can't get inside there. Are you saying that to me?
Right. So Abinadab's little area is blocked off. There's 3 or 4 humans in the courtyard, and Uziel is in the courtyard with them, and they are he is teaching them.
Okay. Yeah. So is it the first time I see Uziel?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Now, okay, then I have some sort of strange question. Now think about this first seeing first and loving. You know, what was it called? Love at first sight or something like that in the films. You know.
Yeah.
Now think of it warrior version of it, like when you see someone physically strong. You know, can I get that vibe from when I see him for the first time?
Sure, absolutely. He's
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
he is probably one of the strongest warriors you've ever seen.
Yeah, I'm like, wow, man. Inside. So I want to open. Oh, you must be Lucia. I'm Icarus from Sparta. I'm going to be straightforward. No, I'm going to be straightforward. I'm saying it out of the character.
Yeah. He goes, he kind of looks at you for a second, and he tells him, pair off and do that drill we were just doing, and I'll get back and keep working it. And he pulls you off to the side. Grabs your hand in that warrior's handshake where you grab wrists.
Can I spend a blood point to get a boner? Okay. I don't want to get that far.
Yeah. He gives you the professional strong squeeze, and says, Uziel. So you are the warrior that Nicodemus brought in last night.
Yes, correct.
And the name of your sire?
We actually never talked about that, right?
Yeah.
What is the name of my sire?
I don't remember. I don't think we ever wrote it down. But you say it. You know who your
Let's
sire
see.
is.
I don't know. I say I don't know.
Your character knows.
Okay, yeah, I tell my name of my sire.
Okay. He says, well, yes, the news of his death uh, did spread. We were very concerned when he never returned from Sparta. So you're the reason he went there, huh?
Yep.
You can tell he's kind of appraising you.
Mm. Oh, well, I can't never say he never pointed such thing, but maybe.
Well, in any case, his death was a blow to our cause. He was a good man, a strong warrior, and very faithful.
Yeah, he was a strong man. I'm I'm definitely sure of that.
How far in your training did you get? Were you
Are you
taught the code?
meaning no?
Were you taught the language? And he says something in a language you have no idea what it is. Nicodemus will
No.
recognize it because it's Enochian.
Okay. I don't know that language. I only know Greek.
So you are still as a neonate, a not even a neonate, a fledgling in our eyes.
If you say so.
Well, should you wish to resume the training, you know where to find me.
Yes. Now, uh, my my mortal teacher, before my embrace, he always taught me when you see a good fighter, a mighty warrior, you should invite that person to a duel to see what is the distance between you and that person. And at the first sight, I can understand that you're a mighty warrior, mightier than me. It's easy to understand, but still, alas, I invite you to a duel as Icarus of Sparta. If you accept my offer, of course. It's
Oh my! What impertinence! I'll tell you what. Let's do a training exercise first. And he calls for all. Halt! Halt! Everyone, gather round. Come here. Gather round. The people come by. And he points to one. He says, "Gather the training rings and give this man a spear." And he leads you to the center of the courtyard. And tells you to take up a position in the center. And they surround you. And one of the people comes back and he's got these metal rings. They're brass rings. And they're, I don't know, what's the metric equivalent of about 6 inches in diameter? Uh, so 1/3, 1/6 of a meter, right? And then so each ever the people around him and Uziel takes a couple, and he says, "This is the training exercise. When you can catch all 8 of these rings, then we'll duel." So the training exercise is to take your spear and catch these rings out of the air on your spear.
okay.
And the point of this is to get you out of the mindset of line-based team combat where it is all your teammates at your side and your back and teach you to look in all directions at once.
Oh, wait, so they are like throwing from all different sides, like
Correct.
rings.
So they
Not
surround
one
you.
person.
They all surround you. There's like 4 of them, and each of them has 2 rings.
Okay. Well,
So
if it's
he
what's
says, at
necessary, then
my
I will do
command,
it.
we're going to throw these in the air, and your goal is to catch them before they hit the ground.
If it's necessary to make that duel happen, then I will do it.
Right, so you get in the center. I would like you to call up your dexterity plus melee roll.
Okay.
All right, you may do this over multiple actions if you wish.
I mean, if I can, why not?
Right.
Do.
So how many actions are you trying to take? Well, I'll tell you what. If you're going to do multiple actions, we're just going to go from there. All right. So you're going to start at difficulty 7.
I don't.
Minus 1 dice.
You mean like? Wait, you mean like minus? Oh,
Yep.
I thought like extended rule, not.
Nope.
Different.
Nope. This is one action or one round, I should say. One round.
Okay. Yeah. Then I'm going to make a multiple action. 2 action. That's it. Just
Okay.
2.
So your first action is going to be dexterity plus melee, minus 1 dice, and
Okay.
difficulty 7.
Okay.
So they surround you and they say, take your stance, ready. And you take up the stance, legs spread. You've got the spear ready in 2 hands. Maybe you're twirling it a little bit, getting your wrist nice and loose, doing, you're all
Yeah,
ready.
I'm. Yeah. Let's see.
On your marks, ready? They flip it up. All the rings go up in the air. You hear them kind of whipping. Your first action, you immediately snag one out of the air and you ring it down your spear to your hands. And before the rest can hit the ground, you take another action. So you're now at minus 2 dice and it's difficulty 8.
I'm miserable. Look at my rolls. Wow, I just want to kill myself.
Right.
Really, like, this is beyond unlucky. There should be a new name for this.
You can do it again if you like. You can keep going until it reaches diff 10, and then it stays at diff 10.
Okay, yeah.
So minus
sure
3
then.
dice, difficulty 9.
9. Can I spend willpower?
Sure, I'll let you spend willpower on this. You're narrowing your focus down. You're super determined.
Yeah. 5.
Hey,
There you
look at
go.
And it's but I don't have specialty. So I got
your
5
third round, the
successes.
third round, or not the third round, the third action, you go swing and you catch it on the spear. And you whip that spear around and you just barely miss another one. And you whip it around your body, and you just hear it go ding 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 ding, and you collect 4, just whap 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 whap.
Yeah. So I can't make next because
you can
it's
do it another.
difficult.
Yep, it goes up to difficulty 10.
Yeah, but
So
it's
4 dice,
definitely
difficulty 10.
Yeah. And I can spend willpower for that. That's
Nope,
the thing.
not this time.
Wait, I have 6 success, right? Because I spent willpower for
Correct.
that.
You only need to catch 2 more.
Yeah, and it's difficulty 10.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm going to judge if I want to risk this or just fail normally. I mean, you know what? Either way, I'm going to lose it. If I
Give it a shot, man. I mean, the worst that can happen is your spear hits the ground and the rings fall off. That's the worst that's gonna happen.
The minus 4. Difficulty 10. Oh!
All right.
So 7.
You have
so I
you have
missed
6
one.
rings on it, or you have 5 rings on it. There's 3 more. No, sorry, you have 6 rings on it because of the willpower. There's 2 more. You jump up over the spear. You whip it around underneath your legs. You catch 1 more ring, and you
Wait,
have.
is it?
You still feel like you have a chance to catch the last one. It just stays at difficulty 10. It's just minus another dice. 3 dice.
Okay.
Diff 10.
I have a question.
Mhm.
There is. Did you say there is 10?
It
This
stays at
circle
10.
thing.
Yeah.
No. The number of these things, round things, are they like
You
10
have 1
or
more.
8?
You have 1 more.
Okay.
There were
I have
8.
1 more. There are 8. So I'm at 7, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So minus 5.
Right. So you have 3 dice to roll at diff 10.
Ah.
Oh,
Ah.
oh man.
You whip that spear around, and it just barely bounces off the shaft, the very back haft of it, It bing, and it bounces up in the air just a little bit. You think you can get it underneath if you try again.
No, I can try again.
2 dice. You have 2 dice to roll.
Can I increase my dexterity with blood?
No, that's too late for that.
Okay. Dexterity melee -6. Just pushing everything I got.
2 more attempts. 2.
Yep, 2 dice, diff 10.
So my one more, and I will roll one
Yep,
dice.
one
so
dice.
It will be my.
Nice.
This is just like This is.
It's a countdown.
It's still possible.
Is the how was the song? If I get 10, I want to open like "We Are the Champions." Whoa!
Hey,
we
see?
are the
So, the last, it bounces off the haft again, bounces up, and it's just a last ditch. You just stick it out. You're balanced on your tiptoes. All the rings are balanced. Everything's in perfect balance, and you catch it right on the very end of the spear, and it whips once, 1 roll, 2 roll. It bounces almost like it's gonna fall off, and then it falls down, and you catch all 8. With a nice little twirl and flourish, you stand up, and you bounce them all in the shaft. Like, okay, I did it. Very proud.
Yes!
Justifiably proud of yourself.
Whoa! Whoa! I'm gonna give a look to the Uziel like.
Uziel looks impressed. He looks impressed. The people standing around you are clapping. They are giving you a hand. They are actually clapping at your ability. Well, you passed the test with quite flying colors, I must add. Very well done.
Thank you.
Give him a Spartan, yes? Spartan shields. They hand both of you guys a Spartan shield, and they give Uziel a spear.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna take my stance. Ooh.
Yeah, they take the rings off of your spear, and they go to put them up. And the 3 of them, as much as 3 men can form a circle around 2 guys who are fighting, that's what they try to do.
Mm-hmm.
And Uziel starts clapping his spear against his shield in that rhythmic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yes. I'm probably taking this shield up and the spear at the right, parallel with the ground, some stance like that. And I'm probably going to buff my stats. I want to give my best.
If you like.
Yeah. I'm probably going to buff my stamina because I don't want to get torpor. So I want to.
Well, this is not going to be a fight to torpor. It's a
Okay.
fight until one person
Accidents
gives up.
happen.
It's a fight until one person gives up, basically.
Okay. Then we might need a willpower check at some point for the colors. Okay. So I can spend 6 blood.
Sure. Yes. Instead of
Going to
doing flat
3 blood
initiative.
on strength.
Yep.
So I'm going to spend 3 of my 3 on strength. I'm going to spend dexterity and 1 on stamina.
Yep.
So 6 blood goes.
So as he starts circling, as you guys are starting to circle each other, still doing that shield clash thing, right? He says, he goes, if you were not Spartan, I would tie a ribbon around your arm and say the first person to catch the ribbon wins. You're Spartan. We go until one of us gives up.
That's fair enough.
So,
yeah,
I'll leave the choice to you. Would you like to make a dice roll to determine who gets to act first, or would you like to make a just the regular initiative?
yeah, we can make the dice roll. Why
Okay.
not? Because, yeah.
The dice roll is wits plus melee.
Okay.
That you're
Wits plus
basically
melee.
you're watching each other. You're assessing the footwork. You're assessing how the person holds their shield, how they hold their spear, the point of balance. There's all these factors you're taking in as if you if you watch a martial arts movie and they're visualizing the next move. You know, that's kind of
Yeah.
what you're doing. You're sizing each other up.
Sherlock Holmes. Wits plus melee. Let me go. Wits plus melee. Ooh, Jesus. Well, it's something.
Right.
It's something. It's something.
So Abinadab is not spending blood for anything. He is, however, going
Um,
to take multiple actions.
Okay, you meant Uziel?
Yeah, Uziel, thank you. Yeah, Abinadab's not fighting. He's going to let you attack first. He gives a little gesture with the shield, you know, come on, you know, bring it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So let's go dexterity melee. My
Yep.
specialty goes on to.
Dexterity plus melee. He's going to deflect your spear with his shield. He's taking 3 actions.
Okay.
So his first action is to parry with his shield.
So wait, I got what? There is 2 success from the 10, so I have 9 success.
Right. Well, your difficulties. I'm looking it up on the thing now. I believe it's 8 to get past this shield. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is still excellent. Really excellent.
Yeah.
And I'm opening up my weapons chart so that I can make sure I am saying the stats correctly.
So because of the multiplication, he gets -1 and +1 difficulty, right?
Correct.
But
All right,
parrying
shields.
is what difficulty for something.
Spartan shield. The attack penalty is +2. That makes it difficulty 8 to land a blow. All right, he is going to attempt to parry. His parry difficulty is 5, raised to 6 due to the multiple action penalty.
Yep. Even if I can shed some of his blood, that's enough for me. Out of character.
Oh, shoot. I didn't do the -1. Got to go back and do it again. -1. Difficulty 7.
Ooh.
1, 2.
Wow.
Your spear slips through.
Okay. So wait, how much bonus dice do I get?
He had 4, you had 5, so you get 1 because he's got a specialty, of course. So no extra damage dice. Roll strength plus one-handed use of the spear.
Wait, you made the difficulty 7.
It's
I
difficulty
remember
8 to
you
get
said
past his shield.
no for Uziel to make parry.
Oh,
I
shoot,
thought
I
it was
did. You're
difficulty
right.
6, not
Nope.
7. So wait, let's recount. Let's count it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10.
So he does parry it then.
But there is
1,
ones
2,
too,
3,
so
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 successes minus 3 ones makes 6 successes.
so I got 6 makes 6, so I have 8, so it means I get 2
No, you don't
bonus
have
dice.
8. Your difficulty to hit him is 8.
Oh yeah, I got 5 success.
Right. So he blocks.
Yeah. Okay. Ah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, let me switch music here. Yeah, good thing you caught that. All right. Yeah, he blocks. He catches it on his shield and deflects it away. And he jumps up in the air and he goes to stab down over top of your shield.
Really? So he's trying to dodge my shield? He's trying to go over my shield, right? So is it 2 process? I believe we talked about going over the shield, like.
Yep, he's attempting to stab over top of the shield.
Oh, okay.
So
Times
is it
minus
difficulty 9 for him? You know, plus
Yep.
2 from the shield and then minus 2 dice too? Okay.
His
Ooh.
spear
Ooh.
skitters off the top of your shield. It like hits and deflects off the rim.
Mm-hmm.
And when he lands, he takes it underneath in a sweep and he goes for your ankles.
Okay. So what, is it difficulty 10 now?
Yep, and this is a sweep maneuver.
So what is sweep maneuver? What does sweep maneuver?
It will do a knockdown.
Okay, what is the difficulty change if you do sweep maneuver?
It's 10. I mean. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4 successes. Now, in the book, in combat systems, there is a thing about this.
Mm-hmm. For knockdown?
For combat systems, resolving actions, close combat, strike, sweep. The character attempts to trip her opponent. If successful, this maneuver causes a knockdown in addition to its damage. Alright. So, I'm going to rule this as he only got 3 successes instead of 4.
Why?
Because it's a +1 difficulty to sweep. So I'm going to take
so
off.
it's-
I'm going to take off a success.
Okay,
Because
so
that
because
would
it's
push it
normal.
to 11 technically.
Yeah, I understand.
So I'm going to take off a success.
Okay.
So he's using this to bash. It's not a stab, so it's bashing damage.
So yeah, now we are talking about bashing damage. I
Right.
didn't get something. You deal bashing damage to vampires. You roll your soak first, and then
Correct.
you roll your get half. But this half can be like when it's like even when it's like I don't know 1, it goes to 0, right?
Correct. It's divided in half and then round down.
Okay, and if it's okay, so
So
if
he
you
is not
if
going to
it's-
use his potence here.
Oh, okay.
So
Can
we're
you
doing
choose to-
strength +2 +2. So strength +4, bashing damage. Right.
So I'm going to roll to soak now.
Correct. Roll your stamina.
Plus fortitude.
Yep. If you're using fortitude, you may go ahead and roll it. He has decided not to use his disciplines, pretty much.
No, I'm adding the die, but I'm not going to spend blood.
Correct. Yeah. Stamina plus fortitude. Difficulty 6.
Okay, just stamina and nothing here. Bonus 1 die. And difficulty 6. So I got in this case half 2.
So you
so
take 3
1
bashing,
damage.
and then you divide in half
Yeah.
round down. So that's 1.
Yep. Okay.
All right. That it bounces off your ankles and it hurts, and you go down in a
So-
heap on your back, or kind of on your side and on your back.
So what is the knockdown things? You know.
Yep.
Let me. I
Knockdown.
believe you roll dexterity or something.
I believe there is a maneuver complications. Knockdown. The victim falls to the ground. After suffering a knockdown, the victim can stand with a dexterity plus athletics roll at difficulty 6. If you fail, you
Okay.
lose your action trying to stand. If you succeed, you reduce your initiative by 2.
It
So go
doesn't
ahead and
matter, but
make a reflexive dexterity plus athletics roll. This is I'm going to make it difficulty 7.
okay. Why not?
Just because you're burdened with the sword and shield and all the other stuff. So we'll just make this 7. We're not taking off any dice or nothing.
It's
Perfect,
It's no
dude.
issue.
You nailed it. He hits you with a perfect strike across the ankles. Your feet go flying. You hit the ground. You immediately slam that shield on the ground. And in a display of just brute strength and perfect athleticism, you slam that shield on the ground, and the momentum bounces you back right up to your feet immediately as you are now, again, squared off facing each other. So Uziel starts bashing his shield again, his spear and his shield again against each other, and it begins to circle you again.
Okay, yeah, I will circle him too. Let's circle us each other.
Then he gives you the wave. Come on, bring it up. He's
Okay,
doing the same
okay.
thing.
Yeah,
that he
it's
did
new
last
turn,
round.
right? It's
He's
new
letting you
turn,
go
right?
first.
Yeah, I'm giving my best to him. Like it will be what it should be. So I'm going to spend blood again. I'm essentially going to spend 2 blood to increase my dexterity. That's it.
Okay.
Yep. I mean, in the end, with my normal stats, I'm nothing, so I have to buff to make it even as much as possible. Okay, I'm rolling to attack with my spear again, a normal. Melee. Let's see, submit. So I got 4 success.
He is actively blocking you.
Ooh.
Shit.
Jesus. What is this? I am like not even scratching it. But it's difficulty 7, right? It doesn't change much, but still.
Yeah, he even if that was difficulty 6 for you, he still would have blocked the hell out of that. He easily catches it, flings your spear to the side. In fact, you know what? I'm not gonna have you make a strength roll because I know you'll succeed. I was gonna say make a roll to hold on to your spear, but you're not human and you got a shitload of strength, so don't worry about it.
Okay.
But he slings that spear to the head to the side, and in that opening, he charges in again.
Okay. Icarus is smiling. You know, he's happy, like he's having fun. He's smiling.
Should have been diff 9, but he still got 5 minus 2 ones is 3 successes.
Okay.
So this time that spear slips in around your shield and jabs right into you. So strength plus 2 plus 2. This is lethal. If this doesn't put you
14.
if this does not put you down, he's gonna stop.
Okay. So what do you mean? Like if it does not even. But okay, it's 3. So
Yeah.
if I don't take any damage from him, he's still going to stop. Are you saying that?
He's gonna back up and be like, "Do you give?"
Oh, okay. Let's see. Stamina plus fortitude.
Mm-hmm.
6. Oh, I don't get any damage. No, I'm not stepping.
He offers you the chance for a second. Do you give? No. Wham! He whips in another attack.
Okay.
Real quick before you can recover, before you have a chance to repair. Third action.
Yep. So it's difficulty 10 again and minus 3 dice. Just saying.
Six
Ooh.
successes.
Oof, oof, oof.
He is still not rolling his potence.
He does not want to kill me.
Correct.
I think Icarus did enough thinking at this stage,
Right.
even if he's not going to win. Or maybe he can win, I don't know.
So 5 lethal.
Yes. Okay.
Wow. Nice. He again steps back and gives you the chance to yield.
Oh, I'm not letting go. I'm not letting. I will push it as much as I can. Like I'm not that kind of person.
All right. Next round. Again, Does the same thing, backs up.
Okay. Okay. Dexterity melee. Pool modifier. No modifier. Difficulty 6.
Difficulty 8. 3
8?
successes.
Oh, yeah, right. I always forget. Yeah. 3 successes. Oh, he's going to dodge that pretty good.
Instead of blocking this time, he's going to attempt to disarm you with the...
Oh.
Ooh.
So how does the disarm works?
So first off, he has
let's
to get
get
more successes in the disarm than you did in the attack. That's rule
Okay.
number 1. I am looking up the system for disarm, which is as still in the combat section. So it is a special roll, I believe, with a special difficulty.
To disarm requires some blah blah. It's +1 difficulty, so +2, +1, and +1
So
from
minus
the
1
extra.
dice, plus 1 diff, plus 1 for disarm, so it makes it difficulty 8.
And +2 from the shield.
No, he is not. The shield doesn't count for block for this. He's literally attempting to disarm you. So
Okay, but I'm not
it's
going
diff 8
to like.
to get around his shield. He needs to get, and I'm going to look at this.
I believe we talked about getting around.
4, 5, 6. He needs to get 6 successes to disarm you.
Oof.
Okay. Ooh.
You could tell he tried. You can tell he tried to slide that spear in and disarm you, and when he did that, your spear slipped past his shield and hit him. So roll damage.
This
Strength.
is a mighty.
Strength +2 plus 2 extra successes.
Oh, he's going to roll for damage. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. You roll damage. He
Yeah.
didn't hurt you.
Oh, I roll damage.
Yeah. You roll damage
Okay. I didn't understand why I do that, but okay.
because you hit him.
Okay. Let's see. Difficulty 6, right? No, 8.
6 for damage.
Oh. Okay.
Wow.
So he's got to
He's gonna roll for the soaking.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 dice.
Oof. That's
1, 2,
So what?
3, 4, 5. You got him. You got him pretty good.
how much damage do I deal then?
3.
No, wait.
1.
3. Ooh, I shed his
Oh,
blood.
no, it's lethal.
Okay, I shed his blood. A fledgling shed your blood, dude.
All right. Now he's mad. Now he's mad.
You see, I'm smiling I'm like, come at me. I'm doing it this time now. He did it all this time after I shed his blood, like, come at me. I'm like,
All right. His next roll is to smash aside your shield and leave a large opening for his third attack.
so is it 2 action now?
He's yes. Well, he's literally. This action is
So does the
literally
+2
to knock
still
your.
count?
This will deal no damage to you.
Okay.
This is literally to knock your shield aside.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
He does.
Is the oh, okay.
He hit your shield. He hit your shield with this on the side, and it like flung your arm open.
So he bitch slaps my shield. Are you
Yep.
saying that?
And now he has a clean and clear attack for his third attack.
Okay. Can
Which
I
is
do that
still-
too?
Well, it's too late now, but yes, you can.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
It's essentially a targeted attack.
Okay. So he does not get
2+ difficulty now. So a question: can humans do that too? Like in fights, can they just like bitch slap my shield?
Most humans don't have the dice pool to do that.
Okay, so this is more like for the fun, representation of the power, right?
Right, basically.
He's treating you like a human, man.
Yeah, now he's like, okay, I was just playing with you. Now I'm gonna get serious.
Well,
Yeah.
you better do that, son.
All right. Now he's losing his potence.
Ooh. Then I'm going to activate my power when my turn comes, of course.
So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oof. 6. Oh, 5. Ooh. How much damage do I get now?
I don't know. Soak 5.
Oh, I got... Okay.
He did not spend blood at the start of the round for potence. Therefore, he doesn't have time to do it now.
I got 1 damage.
All right.
So I have hurt status, so I got -1. But I'm going to heal it, so
And
doesn't
he
matter.
is healing as well.
Ooh.
And he is actually spending a blood to activate his potence for auto successes.
Oh, wait.
And this time he's not
you...
letting you go first.
Okay. Can you repeat it again, please? The last thing you said.
He is spending a point of blood to make this attack deal automatic damage. And he is not letting you go first.
Okay.
You have a chance. He slaps that weapon aside, jams it right in your belly, pulls it out, and immediately as he pulls it out, you whip that shield right back in front. So you're back in the starting position. And he leaps up in the air again and slams that thing straight down right at you.
Okay.
So he's going first this time. He's not letting you do it.
I understand. So he wants to end this fight, or he's angry. I'm not sure which one's not. Oh, okay.
2 successes. That's a 10. Are you attempting to block it?
Actually, I would like to parry. No, his spear, right? I would like to parry it.
Okay. Dexterity plus melee.
What is the difficulty again? Wait,
5.
so it's 4, 5.
It's 5
yes.
unless you're doing multiple actions.
Yeah, and my specialty counts, right?
Yes, it does. Spear and shield, I believe, is your specialty.
Yeah, spear and shield. Wait. And there has been an issue. Oh, yep.
Okay. You successfully parry it. Now here's the complication. He is hitting this thing so hard that he might actually jam it all the way through your shield.
Spear.
Yeah.
But it will stuck if he does that.
Yeah. And he's already got 5 successes on potence. All he needs is 2 successes on this strength, and he will jam this spear all the way through your shield.
Okay, but he will lose the weapon.
Or you might lose the shield. Because it's going to be a tug of war, basically, between who has more strength. The shield or his hand grip.
Okay.
Yeah, you raise that shield up, and you see the spear, ka-chunk, wham, and it like stops right in front of your eyes. And it penetrates all the way through the shield, and then he goes to yank it back. And he yanks that spear as hard as he turns it. You actually see it turn, and he yanks, and he's trying to
So is it?
So what I want you to do is I want you. You can either give up the shield. You can give up and let it like fly off your arm. Or you can try to hold on, and it might just tear. It might just tear the shield apart. It might tear the leather off.
Okay, but I want to ask this then. Now, if I let go the shield, he would have like a one Spartan shield in one hand and the spear who's stuck to a shield in other hand.
He's gonna have to take an
What will-
action and clear the shield off, basically.
Okay, yeah, I want to give up from the shield, whatever. I want to give up from the shield, yes.
All right, so you give up the shield, and it flies off. He spends his second action, and he pops the shield off of his spear.
But when it's multiple action, shouldn't I actually do something before he does the multiple actions? Because
I
that's
don't
how
know.
it works.
Are you taking a multiple action?
Oh, I'm not taking a multiple action, right?
Yeah,
okay,
he
let's
is.
do it. Go on.
I added difficulty to
Yeah.
that for
You
multiples.
use your main action to parry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
understand.
he clears it, and now again, this time potence is not automatic. It's just one thing, and he again comes in on the attack. All right, Dex melee.
So what is it?
Minus
Dex melee for
3.
taking out.
Diff 9. No, it's to attack you. 2
Sorry?
successes.
Success
2 successes to attack
what?
you. To stab you right in
Oh.
the chest.
So what is third action?
Yeah, that's why it was difficulty 9.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, rolling strength. Plus 5. Plus 2.
So can you choose to not add your potence?
Yes, you can choose that, and he has decided he is. Soak 8 lethal.
Okay.
Very nice. He hits
Okay,
you for
so
4. He hits you solid.
1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm crippled status at this moment.
Technically, you're
wait.
mauled. You're not crippled yet because you haven't X'd that box off.
Yeah. So wait. So I do it like this. This is little. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 bashing. I'm mauled. Yeah, I'm going to heal that when my turn comes. I'm still not giving up. Not yet.
All right, it is a new round.
Mm-hmm.
Are you
Okay,
still attacking?
I would actually like to spend blood first when my turn comes. And I would like to attack. Yes,
He's gonna let you go first this round.
Really? Did he
Because
see?
he's giving you the chance to give up.
Oh, he's giving me a chance to give up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. Then I'm going to heal, and let's see. I'm going to heal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which means I cannot activate my power. But if I heal, not all of it, but 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm going to heal 4 blood, and 2 will left, and I want to activate my discipline. I want to activate my Warrior Valerian, the 4th level power, to get the extra soak dice.
Damage, you mean? Extra damage dice?
No, extra
No,
soak.
it's extra soak.
Valerian level 4. Oh, I was thinking level 6. Yeah. Okay, yeah, you can do that.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, yep. So wait. Yep. Let's see.
Yeah, we talked so much about level 6. That's immediately what my mind jumped to.
Yeah. So because of my power, I'm going to make a roll. I believe it was stamina plus melee or something like that to activate it.
Yes, roll stamina plus melee at difficulty 7. Spend 1 blood point.
1 blood point.
Yes, you spend 1 blood point and roll stamina plus melee.
Really? I thought it was 2. Okay. Then I can heal the full healed damage. Okay. Melee. If I do damage, I'm going to let it go after this point, essentially. Difficulty 7, you said?
Yep, just 7.
Oh, I got 5 armor. The maximum I can get. Okay.
So I have 5 plus soak damage now. And I have my eyes open and all that stuff happens.
Yep. The third eye opens, blazing redder than the setting sun. The radiance spreads along the Salubri's desiccated veins in a flash, until your entire body is enveloped in a web of radiant light that defies wounding. The illustration in the book on this, I must say, is awesome. All the arrows shattering off the aura.
Yeah, it's super cool. It's super fucking cool.
All right. Uziel just laughs.
Let's see. I'm going to make an attack roll now. Right? Because you said he lets
Well, that
me have
is
one.
your action to do that. That is a
Wait,
full
oh,
action.
Really?
But he laughs. He just laughs in your face.
Okay.
And then he holds and he waits for you to finish, and then he goes, "Come on."
Okay. So can I make what am I going to do now? If that was my action.
New round. He waits.
Okay. Yep. Damage. So I got 7.
No, roll your
no,
attack,
2.
but yeah.
Yeah, it's 2. Wait, it's plus 2, so it's 8.
You don't.
1,
Okay.
2.
You don't have a specialty. And this is not.
Oh yeah.
Number 1, you don't have your specialty right now. Number
Yes.
2, that is 2 dice to resist rot check, not to attack.
Okay.
Yeah, for each success, Vampire gains 1 point of armor to a maximum of 5. This stacks with any armor worn. Additionally, for every 2 successes rolled, you gain an additional die to resist the fear frenzy.
Okay, so I got what? 2. Wait, I
So
got
at
yeah,
difficulty
I got
8, you got 1 success. Because he still
Okay.
has his shield.
yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna parry.
After this, I'm going to let it go. Like it's
And-
taking too much time. I'm definitely not going to.
This time he's adding his dice for celerity because he hasn't been doing that either.
He now, but let's face it. I made him go full. Like I made him,
No, you
not
didn't even
full,
make him go
not-
close to full.
Okay, but
You
like
did make him put in an effort, though.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
made him do more than the minimum.
yeah.
He was gonna give 1% effort on this, and you made him give about 20.
Yeah. So definitely for such a young kindred, I put very good.
Yeah, he easily batters the spear aside,
Yeah.
and this time he aims a bashing blow. He whips the spear around so it's not the point, and he just aims it just at your torso. Ideally, he'd like to hit your head. But so I'm going to actually aim at your head.
So it's what, +1 or 2? I don't know what
Melee
head
plus,
counts as.
he's only got 1
Plus
extra
2,
dice.
I
It's
think.
-2 dice, +2 diff, +1. All right, we're gonna go. That goes to 9.
Ooh,
A
he
swing and a
failed.
miss. Well, actually, nope. 1 success. He's got a 10, a specialty.
Oh,
1
yes.
success. All right, rolling, bashing, strength +2, +1, plus potence, so strength +8.
Ooh, I
Soak 7
you know
bashing.
what? Yeah, I'm gonna soak that, but I forgot that now because my head was too messy. I don't know why I don't remember those stuff, but I forget all the time adding my weapon damage to my damage dice pool. But
Yep.
whatever, it's happened.
Soak 7 bashing.
Is it to the head?
Uh,
Is that to the head damage?
Yep.
Doesn't it go-
7 to the head. It's just
Does
Yeah,
bashing.
so-
He hit him with
Convert it
the.
into lethal?
No,
does
he
it
hit him with
become
the
lethal because it's-
butt of his spear.
Yeah, but don't bashing become converted to lethal if they're aimed at the head?
We're not going to do that because I don't want to put him in torpor.
So what? I'm actually going to get No, it's
Did you
bashing,
roll your
right?
5 dice of extra armor?
Yeah, it's like 6 plus fortitude. So you see that 6 is from the armor. and
Okay.
Fortitude.
Yeah, he hits you for 7 bashing, square in the head, divide in half, round down is 3.
3. Okay, I'm not. At least I'm not, full. But yeah, I'm going to give up at this point. I'm like, okay, you win something like that, like I was armed and standing in a position. I just leave it. I'm like, downing my spear down. I don't have shield, so
He
I'm like,
goes, he
yeah.
goes, you did well, but how much blood did you spend on a spar?
At our duel, pretty much. I wanted to give my as much as I can.
Do you feel any hunger, really? I'm sure you came into this prepared.
Yep. Do I feel hunger? I probably do. I'm a vampire. I feel hunger, yes.
Why?
I was prepared.
Why would you potentially risk disobeying the rules of my father's house? Disobeying the rules of my father's house in a lust for blood. Because if this had proceeded much further, I'm sure that's what would have happened. Now, by activating that power, I must have my father cleanse their memories, as they cannot leave this house knowing that such abilities exist. So, you violated my father's rules by violating the silence of the blood inside amongst witnesses here. You've come in over what should have been a mere demonstration of simple skill and turned it into something that's potentially far more chaotic and could result in death, and when nothing of the sort ever needed to happen. Why would you do that?
Passion of fighting.
He gives you a little lightheaded smack upside the head. You need to use your head. The best fighters do not do their fighting with their muscles. They do their fighting with their head. Wars are not won on strength of a spear alone. Remember the lesson of King Leonidas at Thermopylae. A force of 4,000 men held off an entire army of 20 or 30,000 strong through the muscle on top of his shoulders. And when he says that, he taps you in the forehead. The muscle on top of your shoulders. Use it. Learn it. Now, if you will excuse me, I must go and interrupt my father at his lessons.
Icarus gives a nod.
When you do that, and then you turn around and look, the 3 men that were training are kind of like staring there in awe at you guys. Like, I never realized this sort of thing could ever happen. Like, their look on their face is just like kind of fear and awe.
Azil is a harsh senpai.
Alright, guys, it's time for a short break. We'll come back in about 5 minutes.
Sure.
Alright. I'll see you guys in about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. So that's, I think, the end of the personal scenes there. You wanted to go ahead and hunt. If anybody would like to hunt before we take off for Locri, that's be a good idea, I think.
Yeah, and when the end of
I wanted Nicodemus to do something more because he only spent his time on.
Okay, what would you like Nicodemus to do?
Aside from hunting, which I'll get to you in a moment, he'd like to spend an hour or two, maybe of the first hour at least, to trying to piece out what kind of man Philistine of Locri is judging by his works and judging by what he has heard, and kinda try to figure out an angle of how to approach him,
So,
knowing that he's like vanity and stuff is there. So Nicodemus is just giving a lot of thought to it
Okay.
to be fully prepared. As for the hunting roll, oh, do I recall it correctly that we're supposed to arrange our own transportation? We
Yes.
still have the resources.
Actually, like when Nicodemus comes back to the Silverberry house, I'm going to tell him, like, did you guys handle the transportation? I'm going to ask his character.
So Philistine, as it believes, and he's one of the proponents that you can only learn from experience. You cannot learn stuff from books. Experiences alone is worth stuff.
Mm-hmm. I thought also he was one of empiric school. That's right.
Yeah. All right. You guys still have money left
Hunting
over
roll?
from the Eternal Senate. That is enough to rent the appropriate carts, crates, everything you might need.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are fairly experienced travelers by now, so you pretty much know. You know, the prince has said he's providing you with guards. He's providing you with somebody to cover the any kind of daytime interactions. He's providing you with a letter of diplomacy and the appropriate flags. Basically, all you guys need to do is make sure that you are protected for the journey.
I'm back. Sorry about being late.
that's okay.
That's all right.
Were we still being given the opportunity to feed before?
Yes, absolutely.
No?
The question is,
Let's
hunting is
check.
a 6. No, it's still at 4 for Rome.
The difficulties for.
Yep. Unless you have a restriction of some kind around feeding.
I'm still using dexterity plus melee.
Single
Not-
roll for getting up to full or standards? Or
Single roll is fine. I don't... Unless you're Icarus, in which case you need to make more than one.
Really?
Yes. Because most of you guys fed on the way in already, so you were only down a couple.
Okay, so, okay.
Oh god. Trust me to do it wrong.
I'm just gonna skim off my herd.
You still have to make a hunting roll. Herd actually adds dice to your dice pool.
Really?
Try that
Can't
again.
you just, like, feed from your herd normally?
Yeah, herd is not actually set up to work that way.
That's interesting. Okay, I'm rolling for hunting then. But this is hunting roll for different night, correct?
With Rome,
no.
there's enough people out and about all night that it doesn't really matter.
Okay. So what is my difficulty then?
5.
Okay. Oh, I get 4 no, I don't. Yeah, I just take 2 blood, so 1 from each.
So you have now regained 4 blood, two from each person.
All minus
No,
one,
That's
maybe.
I
considered safe.
No, I
Well, I
don't
guess
need
I
that
would take
much.
2.
Like, I don't need it. It's over the top, so I just take 1 blood from each.
Okay.
I
How
don't
much
need
blood
more.
did you spend in that combat?
12, and my half is 15, so it's not like half. It's near half, but
I'm
not
just saying, man.
equivalent.
While hunting
Okay.
rolls are easy, you might want to make them.
Yeah, feed up now.
Yeah, my maximum. It's maximum now. My blood pool.
You should
Yeah.
feed to maximum.
If you
Does that
look
mean-
up, I'm-
Hint from this ST. Yeah, feed
if,
to max.
if you look, if you look up, I made a hunting roll there. I rolled 6 success and I wrote 12 blood. under that.
Ah,
If you look
that
up
would
the
be
chat.
how I missed it.
Yeah, and if difficulty, by the way, for that is below a 6,
Yep,
actually,
you're
I
fine.
get more.
You're
so.
fine now. I missed those rolls.
So does that mean I can make a second roll?
Yes, you can. Yeah, we have plenty of time. I just don't want us to get stuck in Rome and then not get to what we're trying to get to.
Should I mark it as full -1 because the
When we leave, everyone will be full -1.
All right, I'm full now.
Sure.
So before the night before you guys take off, everybody is fed to full. We're going ahead. You've made the hunting rolls. Everyone is fed to full. You get in your crates. The crates are delivered to the takeoff point. Yeah, you've all introduced yourselves to the guards. Everybody's buddy. There's an understanding.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The guards themselves are just people. They have been conditioned not to think it is unusual for you guys to be traveling the way you're traveling.
Okay.
However, the silence of the blood still applies.
Okay. What is Silence of Blood but a mere book?
Right. You guys head off. What's that? Go ahead. If you have any questions, now's the time.
Yeah, what about the actor? Is he also conditioned? Is he also, or is he in on the entire vampire?
No, he is just an actor. So.
Okay, so if he's not conditioned, he might ask some questions, stuff like that.
Yeah, well, he has been dominated enough where he will not ask you guys, why are you traveling like that?
Oh, okay.
Just don't light up with the armor of, or start summoning nocturnes around them, because they will panic and run.
Yep.
All right. Sorry for that. All right, so you guys start heading south. At night, every night you stop and you camp, because they don't travel at night, so you have time to talk amongst yourselves and discuss strategy. Hopefully all the stuff you've kind of been messaging back and forth the last couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
They will stop every... they stop every 5th night to feed.
So 5 blood goes
Right.
and goes.
So the areas you guys are traveling, you're traveling on the Appian Way, via Appia. It should be lots of villages and stuff on it. There is not.
Burned?
They have been abandoned. They have been some of them have been burned or demolished, and some are just abandoned.
And as long as we don't need to feed on the same persons.
Right. So on the 5th night of travel, you actually get to a large enough village that you can feed. There's enough people around that you can feed.
Okay, so 5 blood goes
If
first.
anyone would like to feed now, you may make a hunting rolls.
Yeah, I want to feed.
If you feed immediately, the difficulty is 6. As soon as you get out of the box and you take stock of where you're at a small village, but large enough that you can go feed, you can go do that.
Wait, is it 7 for me then?
Yes, it is.
Oh, man.
Okay. Well, I'll take another.
Okay.
So
I got what, 4?
Albina,
Yeah, 4.
in a rare occurrence, strikes out. Hatshepsut can take 4 safely, or 5 if she wants to force a stamina roll. Would you like to do that?
5.
Okay.
Yep.
So this stamina roll is for one of Hatshepsut's feeding victims. They appear to be okay. Labiena, you can take 1, or you can take 2 blood safely, or you can take 3 if you want to force a stamina roll.
I'll take 2.
Okay.
It's individual, so like
Yeah,
if
Chris, you can take 4.
Yeah,
safely.
I'm going to take 4. I'm taking 4.
You don't want to take 5 and force a stamina roll.
No, I
Okay.
don't want to force it.
Nicodemus, you are good to go. You had more than enough.
If I were to do a stamina roll, what would I get?
You could take 3 blood, and I would do a stamina roll for the person.
By the way, now that we are outside, Icarus is again like equipped with weapons and armor and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
just a reminder.
What all do you guys have while we're on the subject? You should make notes of the stuff that you have.
Yeah, well, what you can see on my bio, it's like weapons and armor. It's written there.
What do you have that's silver? What do you have that's what kind of armor?
Oh, it's
I know all your stuff has silver tips, so.
Okay. Well,
According to this, I've got class 2 armor, knife, quarterstaff, gladius, and ceremonial mace. Is that too much to carry? If so, I will discard probably.
Anybody seeing a lightly built woman like yourself is gonna raise an eyebrow to you carrying that much stuff.
Probably get rid. Probably say just take the gladius okay, discard the mace first of all. Gladius staff, armor, and knife would probably still raise some eyebrows.
Yeah, if you can pick one weapon, basically. The staff is probably the least likely to raise any questions.
Yeah, quarterstaff.
yeah.
If I anticipate a battle against supernatural, I can always do my magic.
Yep.
Mm.
Alright.
Labiana always takes her gladius with her wherever she goes.
Yep, that's fine. The next 5 days pass very much the same. So spend 5 more blood.
Yep.
Would I be able to try hunting again in the village?
Yeah, it's just +1 difficulty, so go up to diff 7 if you want to try it before you take off.
7. Oof. I'm going
There
to
you
have to
go.
at this point. Down
Much
to 12.
better.
Just 2.
All right, so Nicodemus, you had more than enough blood with your 3 successes.
Previously.
So, all right, 5 more nights pass. On the 5th night, when you guys wake up, you realize you are in a encampment with a bunch of Roman soldiers.
Oh yeah, we fed as well. Or we wanted to.
Okay, yeah, you can do that. I see the diff 7s on the screen, so that's all the night before you left the village. So
yeah.
Anybody who wants to feed here should exercise. It's still difficulty 6 in the
So
army encampment. But if you mess up, you are in a world of trouble.
Wait, we are with Roman soldiers?
Yes, you are in the middle of a Roman encampment.
Let's not drain
10 nights
troops.
into it.
Oh yeah, I'm going to make. I don't want to lose much. Then I will spend willpower point to not fuck up, because this is something I shouldn't. So
you can't do that. You can't spend willpower to stay asleep. You can't do that. You have to wake up.
No, not for the waking up. I mean, to succeed at my hunting goal.
Oh, you said to. I thought you said to wake up instead of not fuck up. All right. Yes, you can do that. Spend a willpower point on a hunt.
Tamam. Yeah. Float. Sorry. Okay, I messed up language now. Oof.
All right. I see Hatshepsut rolling in the army encampment has easily succeeded. There are many soldiers enchanted with you and who would like the honor of your company.
So
Icarus,
I take. Wait,
easily
I
succeeds.
don't need to. Yeah, I don't need to take 10 blood. Wait, I just need to take.
You can take 8
5
successfully, but you're good to go. So.
Yeah, I take 5 blood, and I lose 1 willpower.
Would this weaken the army?
Say that again?
Would this weaken the army?
Weaken army, you know.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. Type it out for me. Might help. Oh. No, not really. Unless you killed them.
Killing people in the
Yeah,
army
kill.
will definitely weaken the army.
Yeah. Now, the funny thing is this: one night we arrive, or one day we arrive, and then these strangers who never showed up at daylight comes and walks outside at night, and then next day they found some dead corpses.
You know, you've got
That
several thousand soldiers walking around here. So,
Just realised I can set up some dice pools here. Bloody hell.
yeah, you've got several thousand soldiers walking around. There's enough people to spread the load.
okay. Do we know actually what those?
You can take 2 if you like, or 3 if you want to force stamina rolls.
Sure, she's not going to risk killing one of the soldiers.
Okay.
Okay, so is this night number 3?
This is night number 10.
I should say 10. So second stop still, or third stop now?
Second stop.
Okay.
Well, second hunting stop.
Second hunting stop. Yeah, so that's what my last roll was for.
Why have we made three rolls then? It's confusing. Okay.
That's what I was trying to clarify.
Okay, so this is the second hunting stop.
But we've
Yeah.
made 3 hunting rolls already.
I didn't force you guys to make 3.
We were hunting at the same place twice.
Some of us hunted twice at the same location.
All right.
We probably
Yeah.
just got confused.
I see no
I
reason
hunted.
for it, so I'm going to stick with the first roll only.
Ooh, changing map.
All
I
right.
love this.
Yeah, so you continue this pattern. Every 5 days you stop and you hunt. Well, I'm going to fast forward a little bit, and we're going to get to the 5th hunting stop. You are very close to Locri right now. It's been 25 days on the road. You're very close.
Ooh.
You are only down 5 blood.
Okay.
All right, we're fast forwarding. You're only down 5.
5 total?
Yes. You are now in a Carthaginian army encampment.
Ooh,
Oh, awesome.
fuck.
And every single one of them is giving you the stink eye.
Oof.
They are not attacking us?
No, you are under a diplomatic flag.
Oh, yes.
They can't hurt us.
They can't hurt you unless you do something stupid.
Okay. So,
Just don't do something stupid.
so are we ignoring them?
There could be there are most likely enemy Cainites with them, so it's probably not very wise to feed in here.
Oh, I can handle it. Hunger
No.
is something I doubt.
Yeah. We should abstain for this cycle.
Yeah, let's not handle it.
So we are ignoring?
Unless
Okay.
Unless...
Go ahead and write on the screen if you want to hunt, and if you want to abstain, then don't write anything down. Put up a post saying you're going to hunt or not. I'm not seeing anybody typing or typing out yes.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Considering whether I might try and summon some deer.
Okay, Icarus said no. Does anybody want to make to tempt fate?
Nah.
yeah, when you put it like that.
Wait. Are we voting to hunting or not? Because doesn't it depend on the individual?
ST is tempting us.
Okay.
Tempting us to tempt fate.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Does anyone
these
gain
strange-
though?
That is, on the balance, I would say very wise decisions.
Maybe just give a finger to the Carthaginian. I don't know. Like while
Not
leaving.
even that. Not even that. Conduct yourself.
Exactly.
Well, what said when he got in a row? I don't know what courtesy is. Courtesy.
Yeah, I don't know courtesy.
Don't know what is courtesy.
Yeah.
Rodot in
All
What
right.
do you
I
say,
am
Chris?
making something really quick, guys. It's just going to take me a minute. I should have done this during the downtime, and I just didn't get around to it. That was, on the whole, I believe, a very wise decision from everybody. So,
Okay.
the new page. You guys are down, in the end, you are down 7 blood when you come on the walls of Locri. Locri,
Okay.
however you pronounce it. I'm terrible at this stuff.
Locri. I don't know.
Locri
It sounds
is
like
known as the City of Flowers. You come upon the walls. You smell the salt of it in the air of the sea that you can smell. And
Flowers all.
surprisingly, it does not smell overpoweringly of human waste.
What
That's a
does
It
surprise.
absolutely, it does smell of human waste, but it also
But
smells of flowers and plants.
Interesting.
Do
So
we
it
see the
smells like
abnormal
nature.
amount of it?
It is definitely smells better than Rome. Definitely smells better than Rome.
It just wouldn't be as overbearing in Rome.
Who's
No
speaking
grid.
at this moment?
Okay.
Locri. Welcome.
Yep. Just let everybody drag everybody over to it.
Ooh.
All
This
right.
turn.
City of Locri. You guys
It's
pass
Locri?
underneath the gates, and you wake
Nice.
up, and you are basically right outside the gates. And the Carthaginian army, you can look out over the valley that you're up on a raised hill, and you can look out over the valley, and you can see the outriders of the army. The city is under siege.
Under siege.
Yes, you can hear the snapping and flapping of the breeze. You can hear it snapping the pendants and the flags, and it's bringing that mind of that vision to you.
Ah.
Sure.
So you are all down 7 blood points at this point. The caravan itself, they wait until you wake up, you get situated, they drive in.
They siege the city.
Yep, they open the gates and let you in. Under the diplomatic flag.
I understand. I mean, this
So
is like an
whilst we have
intimidation. This is like an intimidation show, isn't it? I mean, normally do you just like siege a city and then go like, hey, we want to be allies, yeah. Don't ignore the siege weapons outside and all those armies. They're definitely not going to rape you if you decline our offer.
Yeah, this is definitely 2 posturing city-states. Basically trying to one-up each other. There's definitely some statesmen back and forth going on here.
So
That's
what is
a
our
really
first
good
step?
catch. Really good catch.
So
So
what's
the driver drives the wagon in. The oxen plod along, and following the directions that were included with that letter, you walk. It goes into the city. and they stop outside of a very large inn, or in a courtyard, and all the mortals offload and walk in and immediately start drinking. There is somebody out there singing. There's a woman. She appears to be quite popular. She's doing a little bit of like rhyming verse, kind of half singing, half chanting.
Yep.
And she's of average appearance. And she sees you guys as a group walk in, and she sees the mortals walk in, and she starts to extricate herself. Oh, I'm so glad to see you guys here. She passed the hat around to get donations, and thank you all. I'll come back later. Yeah, it kind of fends off the hands that are trying to get some groping in and stuff like that. And she makes her way through the crowd, and she comes up to talk to you guys.
Okay.
Her voice, when she's chanting, is very lovely. It's enthralling. You can tell she's really good at what she does.
Is there anything supernatural about it?
Not that you guys can tell without using some powers of your own.
Yeah, I would like to use.
I believe only one of us has the power to sense auras.
That would be me, I presume.
Yes, perception plus empathy. Difficulty 8. By the way, this is
8,
not a good place to use heightened senses, if that hasn't been made clear.
Definitely not.
It's not.
The flowers everywhere.
Bad trip,
Ooh.
man.
I suppose, but then this isn't heightened senses.
Nope, this is not heightened senses.
No.
Or a perception.
Correct.
Well, the Dark Ages version of it.
Yeah.
You did say difficulty 8, right?
Correct. That is base book difficulty.
Okay. So let's set up that dice roll. Again. Later. Ah,
You've only got one dice to roll for. You have more than one dice to roll for that.
No. I think something
wrong in
happened
the
there.
syntax.
It's okay. Something happened there. I
think you
did
typed
something
in
slightly
FL.
incorrectly. Give me a moment. Try that again. So I think what ended up happening, and there was an L on the end of it instead of a 1.
All right. With 2 successes,
That should be enough.
she is a ghoul. She is a ghoul. And she
You
is
have a
in
beautiful.
she is in a good mood.
Yep. You have a beautiful voice, woman. May I ask what's your name?
You are speaking in Greek, of course.
Yeah.
She stops and she gives you a Roman salute. And to describe it, that looks like the German World War II salute.
Okay. I'm not Roman.
Um,
I'm Spartan.
she says in Greek to answer you back in Greek, because that's the polite thing to do. Salve, and welcome to Locri. I am Melino the poet. May I ask your names,
Poet.
please?
Icarus of Sparta, they call me.
I'm Labiena of Etruria.
I give her a salute and they back, and they say, Ave, Albina.
Hatshepsut from the lands of the Nile.
I am Nicodemus of Thebes.
Well,
We were wondering
Yeah.
if we could speak with your master.
of course, we have been expecting you. Please allow me to direct you and give you a brief introduction as we travel. She walks
you.
out of the
That
cart.
would be very kind.
She walks
Could
out
you
of the inn into the courtyard with you guys.
Cademos looks around curiously and inquires her. Would you be willing to spare a few words about this fine city? It's first time that my journeys have taken me here.
Of course. Locri is a city of flowers. You can smell them on the air. You can see them on the homes that surround us. The sea provides, the mountains provide sustenance, but the flowers provide beauty and sustenance for the soul.
Like a place of wonders.
Not just the flowers, but also the works of its citizens. From what I have seen of your performance.
You are too kind. My master, the lord of the city, is expecting you. The embassy of the Bruja is already here. You should know that my lord has
Indeed.
forbidden all violence and requests that you refresh yourselves with care and discretion. That the citizens remain calm is a primary concern.
Have there been issues with citizens getting rowdy as of late?
No, there have not. Our citizens have a very high opinion, rightfully so, of the city and are very proud of it. However, the presence of the Carthaginians outside of our walls and indeed their mortal emissaries inside the palace of our council is stirring up concerns, and anything that stokes the fires of those concerns is to be considered anathema, forbidden.
Is it the public opinion or is it a formal ruling?
If my lord were to find out that there was outside interference stoking such flames, he would be quite cross with the perpetrator. So please allow me to show you to your living chambers while you are here. And then I shall show you to the negotiating chamber. The negotiations are scheduled to begin tomorrow night, 1 hour after sundown, in order to provide time for everyone to refresh themselves.
This meaning we will not have an opportunity to speak with your lord face to face beforehand.
I'm afraid tonight he is quite busy. You have, my lord Camillus has left the arrival of his emissaries for quite late. We had honestly expected you several nights ago.
Indeed.
There were some delays in getting things organised.
We apologise.
Indeed, turbulent times.
So, allow me to show you where you can settle yourselves in, and again, you have the run of the city. However, please refrain from starting any trouble. The Bruja will be chambered on the opposite side of this building, and have been received strict instructions not to antagonize you. They would appreciate the same courtesies.
Of course. You and your master have nothing to fear. We come here in good faith. Would you be willing to spare any details about who the Bruja representatives are? Don't believe I know of their names, but perhaps I have heard of them.
Perhaps we'll be able to meet them
I
before
do not think
the
meeting them would be a good idea. However, two of them often walk the city together, while the third prepares himself. The actual emissary is a man named Acrian. He is quite large. However, he has proven to be a man of gentle inclination. The two that walk the city are named as a beautiful woman. Her name is Malaga Jaberi. She does not appear to be of Carthaginian lineage, and she claims to be a Ventru. There is another man, a Bruja, and he calls himself a Libris. I'm sure out of a sense of wry irony.
Nice.
So, as you guys are talking as you walk, and you reach the chamber, and she says, "You may bunk up in here. It is quite safe, I assure you. My lord would allow no harm to come to you under his watch. There will be guards posted, and we shall prepare a bunkhouse for your mortal escort. Again, you may refresh yourself, and please do not get lost."
Of
Are
course.
there any locations in the city that we would advise against going to? I believe this. You've already suggested that we probably shouldn't go into the half where the Bruja embassy is.
Yes, I would also stay away from the central palace, where the ruling families are meeting with the Carthaginian embassies. It would go poorly.
The closer to the heart, the heated it gets. I understand. As I expressed, you need not to worry about our conduct.
And please pass on our thanks to your master for their hospitality.
Of course. She salutes again, and she goes to walk away. So you guys are free the rest of that night. What would you like to do to prepare yourselves?
Well, first off, hunt.
Feed most certainly.
Okay?
Yes, agreed.
Right. The difficulty right now is 6. You may make your hunting roll at difficulty 6.
Oh boy.
Oh, shoot. Forgot to get rid of that.
Oof. Wait, did I do that right?
Dexterity plus melee.
Oh.
Why? I don't know why you added 6 to that.
I'm still figuring this thing out. I'm gonna make that roll again.
So,
I'm gonna
Laviana,
disregard
you
that first.
initially rolled. That's your aura sight roll.
It's okay.
Nicodemus.
Pull mod should have been 0.
All right.
That's fine. That difficulty 6. Okay. So this will be the proper roll.
Nicodemus, I see you got a number of successes. Albina, I see you can take 6 blood quite safely for your first roll.
Yeah, she's not going to try to. She's going to not risk it after getting the warnings from the girl.
Icarus, I can see you can take 10 blood quite easily without any issues. Hatshepsut, I see you can take 6.
Yep, gonna play it safe this time.
Laviana, you can take 2.
Leave it at that for now.
Yep, just gonna leave it at that. Laviana, please roll perception plus alertness at difficulty 8.
Okay.
Hate and self, does it work?
This is a flat difficulty of 8 to notice something while she's hunting.
Yeah, but does hate and sense work here?
I would not use it here. There are far too many distractions here. Far too much noise and smell. you run some pretty bad risks if you use it inside the city. Same as in Rome.
Yeah.
I understand.
All right, you with one success, you would swear you catch a glimpse of two people following you, but you can't really get a lock on it. So you know, maybe it might be your imagination, it might not be.
Not me. Yeah. She doesn't know for sure.
All right. Do you return to the chambers after your first hunt, or do you try again?
You know what? I think I am going to try again.
Okay.
Dice roll. Come here.
So I'm curious why they choose Labiana as target.
I basically did an alertness roll to see if they catch any of you guys hunting, and she's the only one they caught.
Let's assume.
Sorry, who caught us?
You have no idea because you're not there, and I'm not telling you. But I think you guys can probably guess. All right. So you easily find enough to get 8 more blood quite safely. You come on a pocket of partiers, and most of them are kind of drunk, and you can easily feed off of them. And while you're doing that, and that's your second roll's a diff 7, but you still succeeded with 4. Make another perception alertness roll at difficulty 8, please.
Okay.
Sorry, let's make it difficulty 7. You're kind of on the lookout for this now. Make it 7.
Because of what I saw earlier. Okay.
If those guys are Bruja or Carthaginian, I will just think like how asshole they are. Like they are cheating. We are not. They are cheating.
Yeah.
Watch.
You would swear it was your imagination. You no longer even think anybody was trying to follow you.
No.
It was your imagination.
I put it down to imagination.
Yep.
I was imagining things, she says to herself. And laughs. Kind of.
All right. Everybody looks like everybody's pretty much fed up to full. You guys wake up the next night, so everyone is down 1 blood. Remember to restore a willpower point.
So
if you have spent any.
Nothing else to do this night?
I mean, you can talk amongst yourselves. Might strategize if you have any last strategies to take.
What do you see?
Yeah. Or no time for that?
For what?
Exploring
the city.
I mean, you can take a couple hours and go walking.
I mean, do you guys really want to risk encountering a werewolf? Homeless werewolf?
In the city.
Any risk of that here?
If you guys literally just want to go walking, you don't even have to make any rolls. You just walk the city.
Nicodemus wants to learn the city and see if he can figure out anything that would give him an advantage during the negotiation. Learn what these people are, what they seem to be afraid of, what do they take pride in, to be able to empathize them on some level of understanding.
I want to likewise walk around, but I'm paying attention to one specific thing.
Okay.
Which of the deities are, because a lot of, to my understanding, a lot of the time, towns will have some particular favored deities. So, I want to try and figure out that just
Okay.
from.
I'm gonna answer that question first because that's really easy. Gaia and Demeter.
Gotcha.
Gaia and Demeter.
Okay.
Anybody else want to walk and just look?
I'm not doing anything, but if somebody, wants me next to himself or herself, I'm willing.
Nicodemus isn't a sort that takes company for these kind of strolls because he often vanishes from sight and then emerges himself someplace else. It's like this kind of weird stroll when he just chooses who he wants to reveal himself to.
I think Albina's going to pray. She has kind of neglected her worship a little bit.
Abner is
She
going to pray.
says,
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was
I'm
gonna say
gonna do
she's
my
just
stuff
gonna
last.
stay
So
at the-
go ahead. You guys do it. Labiana's studying then.
praying.
Abner is going to be exploring around the city, trying to get a few fight.
Okay. All right. So the only one that really needs to make a roll is right now. It's gonna be Nicodemus, and this is gonna be a little weird. Honestly, demontation would be coming real handy right about now.
Oh boy.
You walk. You're opening up all of your senses. Your sense of fate. You're using that power of Valerian. Just trying to breathe and soak in the culture. You make your way up onto a roof that you can kind of see over the city wall, and you can see into the harbor. And outside of the protected harbor, you can, in the moonlight, can kind of see some of the ships sitting out there barricading the harbor. You know the city's pretty well surrounded. But as you can see, there's very tall mountains. It's very hard to attack the city in any direction other than the harbor or the front gates. There are many trees. You can smell the pollen on the breeze, especially once you get up over the roofs and you get away from the smell that hangs at the street level. All right. Pet peeve of mine. Whoever's eating, please mute your mic. The sound drives me insane. So as you just travel and you're just trying to soak out the culture in. So the roll is going to be perception plus legerdemain, and then your successes are going to add to your next roll.
Perception plus legerdemain.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. Difficulty 6.
Yeah.
3 successes.
Okay. So your next roll is going to be intelligence plus empathy plus 3 successes. Plus 3 extra dice.
Intelligence, empathy plus 3 successes. Plus willpower. Because I really want to squeeze out of it.
Okay. So you enter this meditative trance as you're sitting on a roof. And the main thing here, and you're going to carry this sense of surety in with you as you, the way to the city itself is very similar to kind of how you would think of modern day, how a tourist thinks of modern day Paris. It's got that Toreador soul. It's just got that bit of Toreador in it where it's not as much about the power and the fact that Rome rules, and Locri, it is about the health of the heart.
It's the soul.
Yeah. It's like how Top Gear talks about Italian sports cars. They're not put together well, but they have just a spirit and a soul that German cars just can't quite match. All right. La Vienna.
Mm-hmm.
As you are walking away, somebody bumps up against you. And then is going to dominate the ever living fuck out of you, to put it lightly.
Okay.
Fucking bro, huh? Fucking Carthaginian, sorry. I always... I-
More like Venture, tossing their dominate everywhere.
I mean,
Right.
actually, those ventures don't live too much.
Yeah, this is dominate level 3. You're not going to remember bumping into her or her next action against you if she succeeds on this. Wits plus subterfuge. What is your current willpower?
It is. Hang on a second. It's at 5.
Okay. Rolling
So
wits
does
plus subterfuge at difficulty 5.
Forgetful Mind can erase like the upcoming minutes too?
She's getting ready to modify these memories, and basically
Oh,
she's
boy.
combining some dominate powers here. And it's not. She's literally just gonna be removing here a couple of seconds. So for narrative purposes, we're yeah. Wow. She rocked that. What you will not remember is bumping into anybody. You remember you have fed, you're getting ready to walk away, and then the next thing you remember is shrieking, possibly, maybe shrieking in terror. What's your courage?
That is. Let me pull it up again. 5.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of courage.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, succeed or fail, you're not going to remember her doing this to you. So.
Maybe your frenzy and killer?
Wits plus empathy at difficulty. Courage plus 4.
So you can actually use Forgetful Mind to like
This
change
is
the memories? No, this is something in my head.
dominate level
like,
3. Yes, dominate level 3.
Yeah. So can you use like Forgetful Mind to erase change somebody's memories and make them like think they saw, I don't know, a tentacle monster or
Yes, you can.
werewolf?
You can alter memories, but it's much
Ooh.
easier to just remove them.
Okay.
Move them, yeah.
And she has literally just removed these last couple of. Basically, here's what she removed. She touched you. She looked in your eyes. She used this power, and she used dominate to remove your memory of this whole thing. So what you remember is you get up after feeding, you start to walk away, and the next thing you know, you are driven into a furious fit of terror. Your worst fear, and I'm going to, whatever your worst fear is, I'm not going to make you speak it. this person just comes up to you. Let's say your worst fear is failing your father. And she comes up to you and she whispers in your ear, your father's so incredibly disappointed in you. You're a failure. You'll never amount to anything. You never have amounted to anything. And he is disgusted that he ever sired you. And it drives you into a fit of terror. And that is up to you to roleplay.
Oh boy.
The ball eye must first successfully use Sense to Sin, must then speak to the target, mocking your insecurities with her tone. Successful wits plus intimidation roll, difficulty of courage +4, drives the victim into furious fits of terror. 2 successes causes panic flight similar to Rotcheck. So it's only 1 success, so she is just scared the ever-loving crap out of you, but it's not overwhelmed your conscious mind.
But it's there.
But so here, what you remember is you got up and you walk into the alley or whatever you're leaving, and suddenly it's just like you just know that your sire is unbelievably disappointed, and it's just like, and you start to panic.
Yeah, it's like, oh my god.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
so roll
he's so
play that
disappointed in
out.
me.
And this, whoever did that to you has now walked away.
Yeah. So all she knows is that, yeah. Alright, so, as she's coming back into the residence, I guess you could say.
Yep. Everybody except Nicodemus arrives at basically the same time. For the sake of this. You guys are all back except for Nicodemus. Labiana walks in. Yeah. Labiana, describe your mental state. How are you physically reacting to this? What are you thinking?
She walks in. Oh my god. My sire, I think he's very disappointed in me. Next time I see him, he's going to be so mad.
Why?
I don't want to go home.
Why?
I don't know. But I just know he's going to be mad.
Really? Isn't that stupid? Now, friend, you see, I don't believe your sire have possibly no way to know if you did something miserable or not. So just chill.
I mean,
what did you do tonight? What have you done tonight?
I went out and I fed and...
Did you kill?
Not as far as I know.
Okay, keep on.
Not that I recall. But that's all I recall.
Okay, come sit next to me. Come. I'm making hand gesture, like come at me gesture.
Icarus, manipulation plus empathy, please. Calm her down.
Okay. That's like 1 die.
It's 3 die.
If you don't have empathy, it's plus 1 difficulty.
I have empathy.
That's just it. I don't recall killing anybody.
Maybe that's the problem. You're not killing enough people.
Maybe not.
Well, to study death.
She's the cloud of death, for Pete's sake. Anyways.
You need to kill people for study.
Yes.
Yeah, I got 2 successes.
You don't need to start role-playing that, but anyway. Perhaps even...
I'm not even sure if 2 successes now. Is 2 successes there? He got 1 success, right? From the... I don't know what's that 9 difficult thing is for.
She doesn't panic and run away from you. That's a plus.
Okay. So what do I do then? Do I relax her a little bit?
Well, it's you sit down with her and you keep talking. Keep going. Keep talking.
Okay. You see, people do things that is called failure for other individuals. You might be acted in such a fashion. You might did something bad, or you might not. But then again, tonight the things you did, they are just feeding from a person, and you did not kill anybody. So tell me, is your sire somebody who will be sad because you did not kill a human?
Well, he he's usually very careful about, you know, he's always taught me to be very careful about the things that I do.
Are you very careful?
I always want him.
I'm-
I always want him to be proud of me.
Yeah.
If,
And
you,
I-
if you're so certain that he would be disappointed by you doing everything right, perhaps you need to seek. Perhaps he's not as amazing. He's not as much of an exemplar as you think.
okay, you know, it doesn't
Hatshepsut.
need to be.
Hatshepsut. Manipulation plus empathy, difficulty 8.
Can I spend a willpower for this?
No.
Okay. I thought.
You.
I actually have a.
I know. It's funny because what you're doing is both good and bad. I know what you're doing.
I have a question.
Go
for
ahead.
for the sake of flower. I don't know how to pronounce that word.
What?
For the sake of role play and the power description, I'm asking this. The let's see, the gift of sleep, or more like in warrior, Morpheum blow. It's about like
That would work. That would make her go to sleep. I think. I
No,
think that power doesn't work on anyone who can't actually sleep.
No, it does not. It's not about sleeping. It's about calming her down. Like using the power to calm her down, like a
I
spiritual.
think that's more the Watchers thing.
No, it's also. I think it also improves the.
I mean, a healer has more detail on it, and it's like it says like erase ease a target's pain. Can we count this
But that's
as
physical
a pain?
pain. That's physical pain.
Yeah, not emotional, mental pain.
Okay, so I'm like, I'm just keep talking on. So you see, you're being careful. I mean, no human noticed you, I presume, and you did not kill a human. So tell me, what could you have been doing tonight that would result in your sire being, disappointed? I say nothing. So this worry of you, it's very unexpected and unnecessary. I think you should get over it. And I'm just going to like tap her shoulder, like a friendly tap.
Look, I appreciate what you're doing, but look, as far as I know, I did I strayed to. As much as I think back, I don't believe I've done anything wrong yet. I just feel like there is something that he is going to be disappointed in me about when I see him, and I can't get over it.
Okay.
I can't get over it.
Yeah, okay, but everyone makes disappointing things. That's like one part of the circle of life and unlife in our such case. So really, like, if you did something that would disappoint your sire, then look at the good side. The next thing you do could make him much happier if you do with your full focus on good intention. Think of it like this. When the when the stakes go down, you can make them even greater at your next step. So try to be optimistic, okay? Don't be pessimist.
I hope you're right, but
I do not claim to know your sire, but I'm sure he would not want you to feel constantly chained by constantly chained by the fear that you might do something wrong.
And don't forget, you are a neonate now. You don't, well, you are not under control of your sire anymore. You are some sort of free kindred. And this also means that you have your own free will. And whatever you do, I'm sure if it's not going to damage your sire totally, then it will be a mere disappointment which could be just forgotten in, I don't know, 4 hours, maybe even 3, but it will never last long. So get over your feelings. Do something you are happy, you like. Hobbies or something. I don't know.
I don't know. It's a feeling I can't shake. I don't know what else to do. I can't help it. I just know he's. I don't know.
Then think about your sire. Imagine your sire. If he was facing you right now, truly, imagine your, backstory with your sire. The things you lived with him. The way he talked with you. The way he taught you things. Think all of those stuff. Connect those to your feelings right now. And tell if it's really think if it's really a disappointing thing you did at some point, or actually there is no such feeling but only artificial feelings, emotions that's created by some worries you had in the past hours.
That I do not know. All I know is that I just can't shake this feeling. And I don't know how to get rid of it. It's just, I know. I just know.
The world places many chains upon us, Mariana. It is hard to. They become natural to us in time. It is it is hard to overcome them, but I trust that with time you will be able to overcome this feeling.
Just out of character, I don't know how much longer you want me to
Um,
keep role playing that.
make a willpower roll.
Me?
Yeah, see if you can overcome the soothing effects of them talking to you are starting to work.
Okay.
You can suppress the bad feelings.
Difficulty?
6. You're good. Between them calming you down and the willpower roll, you started to feel better. The shakes are subsiding, and you're like, okay, maybe I just overreacted for some reason. I don't know.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay.
You're absolutely right.
It is the end of the night. Nicodemus comes back. Everyone gets a day's rest. Regains a willpower point. You wake up. Now, here's what I'm going to say. This negotiation might take several nights. So whoever is involved in the negotiation, any willpower points you spend will not come back until it's over.
Interesting.
I probably don't partake in the negotiation verbally. I probably just stay then next to the other co-team members, because this is definitely not something I will shine at.
just from a mechanical perspective, at least, Nicodemus and Hatshepsut are probably going to be just purely from a stats perspective, the best ones to actually argue the point. So we're going to have to probably, think up that kind of plan our arguments.
Okay. This might actually go into next session, so we're going to get it started, and hopefully we can have enough of a talk that you guys can, by the end of the session, you can talk back and forth and figure out some sort of strategy for how you want to approach this. All right. So the next night, you guys wake up, you put your clothes and stuff on, you open the door, and the lady is standing there waiting on you. Melino. She again speaks to you in Greek. And I should mention that her accent is kind of unique. It's a very local Greek accent and Italian.
Does it seem like everyone in this city speaks in the same fashion?
No, most of them don't. A lot of them don't actually speak Greek. And those of you guys who walked around the city would have picked up on that. Or if they speak Greek, they only speak a little.
So which nationality is primary here?
Basically local people. They have it was a Greek colony, so there's a lot of Greek influence.
Mm-hmm.
But the meat and potatoes people, the guys who go out and work the fields, just kind of speak the local tribal languages that we are calling Italian for simplicity's sake.
Mm-hmm. But they share no ethnical or national-wise connection with Rome itself.
Correct. None of them are Roman, quote unquote.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm sure you can and will find people who speak Latin. Locri is a ally of Rome. Officially. So there are people here who speak Latin, quite a number of them. So but most of the people, the people that you guys are usually going to feed on or whatever, speak some Greek and some Italian. If you have the merit lingua franca, you have no trouble understanding what they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have that merit, you have to listen to them talk, and then you got to chew it over in your head before you can understand what they said.
The multilingual, I'm gathering, doesn't.
Multilingual allows you to speak a number of different languages. Lingua franca basically lets you blend those languages together. The way they explain the merit in the book is that it lets you speak the local dialect. It lets you understand it. So, but she is actually speaking in perfect Greek. It's just her dialect is weird. Her accent's weird. She says, so who am I directing towards the chamber, and who will be left to their own devices?
Is there a limit to how many people can be taking part in the negotiation?
My master has not said so.
Then I'd like to be taken to the chamber, if you please.
As would I.
And myself as well.
Before we head in, Hatshepsut's gonna just tap Icarus on the shoulder and just look at him. I had a bad If I'm not certain how good you are with such things, but try and keep an eye out on the area.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah, I keep an eye on the area. If there's like if hate and sense can be used without issue, I will then open it.
Right.
Like if isn't much sound and all that stuff.
So she takes you to the chamber. It's in the same building. It's on the upper floor, and when you walk in, it matches exactly the chamber layout that you saw in the vision.
Oh, splendid.
Um, inside the room, there is Philoson himself, whom you recognize. He is a short, somewhat pudgy man with a beard and a very balding head. And there is a large man with huge, broad shoulders, huge arms, big legs, very much like Icarus. But he's wearing a leather, like a jerkin, and some something to cover his hips and thighs. He's actually so big and the cloth is so tight that you can see he has no weapons on him at all.
I would like to use my Valerian one power to on that big guy.
You're not in the room with him, are you? I thought you were staying behind.
Oh, so it's not like a big room and a small chamber and like
No,
they
you
go
guys,
inside.
you are stayed in the birthing chamber or wherever. And Molino took Albina, Hatshepsut, and Nicodemus away to a different room.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, okay. If those who will not make negotiation is not allowed, then yeah, I'm outside.
So he stands up, or he is actually standing already. And he turns and looks at you, and he greets you very courteously in Greek. Greetings, travelers from Rome. I am Acreon, a Bruja of Carthage, here on a mission of embassy.
Albina. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Mm, okay, you go ahead. That's
No,
fine.
you go ahead.
Okay, if you so desire. Greetings. Not greetings. Good evening. I am Nicodemus of Thebes, and these are my associates, Albina Palace and Hatshepsut. We are envoys from Warren, and we are pleased to make your acquaintance. I hope these tiresome nights find you in good health and condition.
He nods his head, and then he looks at Philiston, and Philiston, as I said, is a short man with a plump belly, slight beard, has a small smile on his face. And if you look out really closely, you can see the tips of his fangs poking past his upper lip. Just the little tips of them. And he says, "And I am Philiston, the lord of this domain. Be seated and be welcome at my table. You have gathered here to sway me to use my influence on the mortals of this city to accept Rome," and he gestures to you guys, "or to heed the words of Carthage," and indicates Acreon. Please let me allow the opening remarks to the Romans.
Hatshepsut motions for him to go ahead.
What did he say exactly?
Philiston and Acreon are looking at the three of you guys like, are you going to say anything?
Oh, I thought he was saying he would. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was confusing.
we believe uh, we believe and like to request that the city sides with Rome in the struggle against Carthage in this second Punic Wars.
We remind we remind the we remind the those gathered here um that Rome has always endeavored to treat subjects within Italy fairly, even when they are not of Rome itself.
There is a there is an ancient duty set under the uh, under the treaties made between Rome and and the city, and Rome has always uh, it has always showed itself as being one of the centers uh, of one of the centers of learning and one of the centers of art and culture and one of the most capable uh, military allies to its friends. All all characters that no doubt appreciated and will come to greatly benefit the city in the future, just as it has benefited the city in the past ever since it became an ally of Rome.
When it's clear that you guys are done, Philiston gestures to Acreon, and he says, "With great pleasure, I have awaited the arrival of my esteemed counterparts from Rome. I have had the time to listen to the poetry of your protege, and I have walked among the night flowers of Persephone's blessings. Carthage is filled with men of valor and glory, strength, cunning, and renown. And here we see before us a city blessed by the gods, and we wish to make peace and prosperity with it. Hannibal has forces on the north and the south, and has yet cast no stones against this fair flower. Would Rome make the same boast? Remember that Rome is a city that invited their neighbors for a feast and then stole their daughters out from under them. Philiston seems to be nodding his head.
Remember, remember that remember that the forces of Carthage once sacked the temples of the very gods that this city, that this town is blessed by.
Question: Is the
Go ahead.
stuff about um, is the stuff about the human sacrifice in Carthage known already?
No, that is not known.
Okay.
Nope.
Furthermore, as we've already mentioned, Rome, the city of Locri, desires to put for to grow and develop. It does not seek to force it into them choose sides in this conflict that this conflict in which it pains me to see the magnificent city of Locri to be forced upon is really not the city's business. It would be the great fate so that its people and its culture be left alone from the ravages of war entirely. For war does not bring prosperity. War does not bring fruition to the creative minds of a truly blessed society as this.
You see, my lord, how they threaten you. I bring up
Whew.
how they invited their neighbors for a feast and stole their children, their daughters, and their wives away from them to increase their own city. And then they come right back with no true answer, only to threaten you with war again, which threatens to rape you of your women, your children, and your hearts. Can you truly trust emissaries who approach only with such thoughts on their mind?
And can you truly trust one who who's who aligns themselves with the descendant of the one who sacked the temple of Demeter at Syracuse? That Demeter who gave this village its vitality.
If they would destroy such holy works, such noble structures, then shows there is nothing. There is no more. They show no more respect for the works of art that the city has created over many years.
And if you would say that Carthage has changed since then I would reply that so has Rome.
And has not Syracuse themselves already recognized that friendship with Carthage is the best choice? Are not the fleets of Rome already at their walls, attempting to batter them down? Do you think that they will treat them any less than we did when at war?
You say this, but it is your force that is knocking on this city's gates.
And yet we
With
approach in
spears and
friendship and have made no aggressive move.
Approaching with friendship at Sword's Point is not approaching in friendship at all.
Out of character. What is stuff about Saguntum known? Is it? Would we know who attacked Saguntum? Whether Saguntum was on? Okay, words. Okay. Is it out of character? Do any of us know in character which side of the river Saguntum was supposed to be on?
One person does. Albina does, because Albina was there. Well, actually, Albina didn't negotiate, but she is the only one of you three who has been to Saguntum. However, that being said, do you remember why you were sent there?
Yes, to the daughters of the senator, I believe
Right.
it was. Yes, to rescue the family of the senator.
Right, and you were sent there long before there was even a declaration of war. Therefore, that should tell you that the Senate essentially thought that they were sending Saguntum as a sacrifice. They were already anticipating that this was going to happen.
Yes, but because is it Carthage that was invading Sargonton back then?
Yes. They had just concluded the treaty, and Saguntum is The problem with the treaty is that modern people don't know what river they were referring to. So Carthage has always maintained that Saguntum was south of the river that the treaty referred to, and Rome always said, no, it wasn't. It was this other river.
So yeah, she would be able to relay that information that she was there, that she like used that to try to paint Rome a positive image.
Yep. And
So, yeah,
Acreon answers back. Madam Albina, you have been to Saguntum, and you were there on a personal errand to help a senator. Is that what you were saying?
She nodded.
So, does that tell you that the senators knew Saguntum was on the wrong side of the river and therefore subject to our authority? Per treaties that Rome signed?
Alternatively, they may have anticipated an aggressive actions from the Carthaginians.
So you're telling me they voluntarily set up an entire city, and a city of their own allies, as a trap, and sacrificed an entire city of people solely to provoke hostilities with another nation. Does that sound like a smart move for this lovely town to ally with a city that would do that?
Rome did not sacrifice the Saguntum. Far from that. Rome had Rome knew Rome knew the dangers, and yet it supported Saguntum during its existence.
Really? Because I don't remember hearing of any fleets or military sent to aid them. No food ships, no supplies. They left them to sit out the siege on their own. Can you prove otherwise?
As she hesitates for a second, then she says, my reasons for going there are not merely to rescue the family of the Sen. Among the, as among the, as also given the request just to help prepare the city, and that's a lie. So that's a massive lie. She's trying to put a good spin on the entire thing.
Okay, that's going to be manipulation plus subterfuge. And
Can I use a? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, yes, you can use a willpower if you want. And Philiston is actually going to make the roll to see through that, not Acreon.
No.
Would the enchanting voice applies?
Not for lying.
Okay. Difficulty of 6, right?
Yes, this is contested at Div 6.
So 4 successes with the willpower and the specialization.
Yep. So I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 4. Tied. Philiston, you guys can make a perception plus empathy roll to read his body language as Albina is stalking.
Is it Div 6?
Yes, Div 6.
Nothing. Why are his fangs bared? Does that mean anything?
They're not bared. They're just kind of pointing underneath his upper lip.
Yeah.
He hasn't drawn them back in a display of aggression. This is a subtle reminder of who rules here.
Okay. That's what I thought.
The fact that he is comfortable doing this. It's a small display of authority.
Dominance.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Okay, Hatshepsut, would you like to make that roll?
Difficulty 6?
Yes.
Okay.
So is there rules for tie in the book? In the core book?
Defender usually wins in a tie.
That's interesting.
All right,
I remember.
So Hatshepsut, to your eyes, it looks like Philiston is favoring Albina's interpretation. You can't be quite sure, but you think Albina pulled it off.
Gotcha.
All right, so it is 6 o'clock. It's 6 o'clock at my end, guys. This line of talk continues back and forth all night. We are going to go ahead and pause it here. We're going to pick up the next night. So you guys can now discuss your strategy. Where do you think the discussion should go? And so on and so forth.
Is my 5 successes in the empathy roll able to tell me anything more about his expression as I give my explanation?
You're a little more concentrated on pulling the lie off than you are about reading his body.
Okay.
Yeah. But you did well, actually. So we're going to go ahead and put a pin in it for tonight. Guys, that's 2 experience for everybody tonight.
Ooh, you are very generous today.
That means that we are dipping shit now. If you see bigger experience rewards, it means they're pivotal points that it may just mean that we'll screw up the next session.
Not just that, but there was some really good role play for everybody tonight. The political back and forth we're just going through. I'm going to stop the recording here, guys. So for anybody watching us on YouTube, thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.